Midweek Radio Scotland, Motherwell against Rangers, with Graham Dorrans, Stephen Craigan and Liam McLeod.
Hello to you, high noon, Christmas Eve, Fir Park here. The Rangers fans just launched a whole heap of ticker tape to welcome their team onto the pitch. The Motherwell players out there as well, exchanging handshakes with their opponents. Is today the day they end two really poor runs? The most alarming, of course, the most immediate one of concern is their current slump in the league that sees them in the relegation playoff place right now. And of course that long wait for a league victory over Rangers. Their last win over them was in the League Cup semis back in 2018 when Louis Moult scored the 2 goals. The last victory over Rangers here was in the Premiership playoff final, second leg, as they eased thoughts of a first relegation in a heck of a long time. They've had a couple of narrow escapes down the years. By and large, it has been a top flight club for a long time now. And up against the recently crowned League Cup winners, Rangers, who will try and get back to within a couple of points of Celtic at the top of the table this afternoon after the champions win over Livingston yesterday. Rangers 5 adrift, but with 2 games in hand, starting with this one at Fir Park. Just about ready to go. The referee's David Dickinson. Rangers are going to take kick-off. Todd Cantwell has the ball in his hands, ready to spot it up. Rangers in the blue shirts, Motherwell in the claret and amber, of course. And Motherwell will shoot left to right, south towards the Rangers supporters in the big standoff to our right. We're at the back of the main stand, just to the left of the halfway line. And Cantwell has left the ball to do John Sterling, who's one of 4 changes to the starting 11 for the visitors from the side that beat St Johnstone at Ibrox during the week. Motherwell go with the same 11 that started at St Mirren a week ago. So David Dickinson down there just waiting for presumably TV to catch up. Normally an ad break just before kick-off. As the wind continues to howl around Fir Park, the rain's eased off thankfully. Perhaps a little bit of brightness in the sky as well, which would be of some relief. Bang on 12 o'clock, game on. Rangers playing it back there just to outside the centre circle for Kieran Dowell, who launches it towards the edge of the Motherwell penalty area, where it's headed clear up onto the chest of Bireth on this near side. And it comes off Balogun and out for a Motherwell throw-in on this near side. I have to say, Graham Dorrans, looking at the last week or so for Rangers, it has to go down as one of their best in recent years, winning the League Cup, winning their Europa League group. It's been extremely productive for Philippe Clement.
Yep, absolutely. If you offered him that 2 months ago, previously when he came in, every Rangers fan would have bit your hand off for that. So listen, it's been job done so far. It's a loose one out the back there though. Motherwell onto it down the left hand side with Gent. He's taking it down towards the corner flag. Tavernier battling with him, and unfortunately for Gent, he runs it out of play. And that will be a throw into Rangers deep inside their own half. And I guess, Stephen, that just underlines the size of the task for Motherwell today, on such a poor run themselves, but Rangers in such high spirits.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that's something the Motherwell players will be fully aware of. However, there's a real challenge for them to go and raise their standards, push the boundaries, see how they can go and compete with the team on form, because this is where you make the headlines.
Bireth for Motherwell, just rolling it back the way into the midfield for Payton. Picked up on the left, Gent, who rolls it back to Harry Payton. It's the Canadian, 3 Rangers players around him, and he was obviously spooked there because he's passed it straight out of play. That'll be a Rangers throw in midway inside their own half over on that far side in front of the east stand. James Tavernier bowls it infield, and it's up into the air from Dowell. Sterling's not going to get there. It comes off the head of Bireth, headed clear by Balogun, and then picked up in the midfield by Dowell, but it's pinched back really well there initially by Blair Spittle. It's not really settling in the opening couple of minutes. Long ball for Rangers. Liam Kelly thought about coming out to claim it, and then thought better of it as it skipped away from him and out of play and away from Abdallah Sima, who's chasing it down the left flank and out for a Motherwell throw-in.
I mean, the ball was just bouncing about in the halfway line. Kieran Dowell coming to Fir Park, think he's going to get 5 or 6 seconds, lift his head and play a touch, almost to my point pre-game. Be in their face, put them under pressure, don't allow them to settle, make it really uncomfortable.
It was a 19-year-old James McFadden who scored the winning goal the last time Motherwell beat Rangers in a league match. Boxing Day 2002 in the 65-minute mark. Since then, they played each other no fewer than 56 times. Motherwell have managed 15 draws, though they've lost the other 41. As Dessers gives chase to a long ball, he claims, I think he's being obstructed there by Mugabe, and it's all the way through to the Welsh skipper Kelly, who bowls it out to that far side. Big penalty save from Liam Kelly last week. He's had a difficult time of it since making his Scotland debut in Lille. That's been given away at the back by Motherwell, and it's Dessers rolling it into the path of Dowell, lasses it home. Brilliant start for Rangers, but Motherwell cut their own throats there. Dessers picked up and rolled it onto a plate for Kieran Dowell, who leathers it into the roof of the net. And it's Motherwell 0, Rangers 1.
Stuart Kettle will be absolutely tearing his head out with that there. You know, he would have spoke before the game. Take no chances early on in the game. Motherwell tried to play out from the back there, and it's a good press from Rangers. Dowell's nicked it off him, and a good one too, and a great finish. But as I said, really poor from Motherwell there.
Shane Blaney had 2 opportunities to get the ball out of his feet and play forward. The first time he played it back to Liam Kelly gave him it back. He had a second opportunity, and rather than learning from your mistake and thinking we'll play in the opposition half, he rolls a straight ball into midfield. Harry Payton has no idea who's on his back. It's good pressing from Rangers, absolutely no doubt about it, but straight balls into midfield encourage the opposition to come and press. They win the ball high, then it's about quality, it's about moving the ball quickly, and you have to say it's a top class finish. Liam Kelly, absolutely no chance, but I just spoke about being hard to play against. Typical Motherwell, far too soft.
Yeah, it's really poor, and all that preparation during the week by Stuart Kettlewell, and it's been wiped out essentially. There's a long ball which Bearett's given chase, just skipped in behind Connor Goldson. But Jack Butland, who's been excellent for Rangers this season, comes to claim at the edge of the penalty area and bowls it out to Ridvan Yilmaz on this near side as Sterling whips it back to the edge of his own box for Connor Goldson. That's a second Rangers goal for Kieran Dowell. His other one came against Livingston at Ibrox early in the season. Of course, had injury problems, but he's eager, Graham, I would have thought, given you played in that position as well in the centre midfield, to take advantage of the injury problems that have allowed him to come straight back into the team.
Yep, he'll be absolutely delighted with that. You know, the opportunities came from an injury, and he's took his chance at a great finish.
And Cyril Dessers up to the edge of the penalty area, rolling it to McCausland, fires it across and cut out, and he goes behind off Shane Blaney for a Rangers corner. And this already, Stephen Craigan, looks like it could be a very difficult afternoon for the Steelmen.
Well, they look a little bit nervy because they give away an early goal. They feel a little bit of pressure, but just the body language of the Rangers players. When they get the ball, they're playing forward, their shoulders are back, they're enjoying what they're doing. They've got the early goal, which the manager will have insisted, let's get that, let's see if we can draw them out and play them behind. That's how it's transpired so far.
The Rangers have managed to score at least twice in 12 of their last 13 visits here to Fir Park. So they like a goal here as Tavernier takes the short corner back to Yilmaz, takes a touch, crosses in, and there's a header there from Balogun 6 yards out, which goes over the crossbar. Another ominous sign. That was way too easy for Leon Balogun to not even jump terribly high to get onto it, but he's put it over the crossbar, and it stays at 1-0 Rangers on 6 minutes.
You should actually do better there for me. He's got a free header 6 yards out. He should at least get it on target or put it back across the goal. Hopefully somebody's coming in.
But what they've looked at, Motherwell had a zonal marking. So they had Shane Blaney in the front 6, they had Bevis Mugabe in the middle 6. What they've done is they've moved the ball and went deep to try and take the zone out of play, which almost worked for them.
It's away there by Sterling, just dumps it back into the Motherwell half, and it'll come all the way through to Liam Kelly. The Motherwell need to gain some composure in this match, try and get a feel of the ball as well, because this could get away from them pretty quickly if they're not careful. Kelly with the long ball, hangs in the wind, headed forward into the Motherwell half by Balogun. Stuart Kettlewell down there, he is pacing from one end of his technical area to the other at pace, as that goes out for a throw into Rangers on the far side.
He is, because I think it was Bevis Mugabe that ducked up with Shane Blaney. One of the two of them ducked rather than going heading the ball, and he's wanting them just to go and make basic decisions, head the ball back to where it came from.
It's back with Butland, long ball forward, Mugabe in the centre circle, just nodding it forward. It comes bouncing off the head of Stravkovski, the North Macedonian. Long ball for Rangers all the way through though to Liam Kelly, who gathers at the edge of his own box, and it's a little underarm bowl to Blaney to his left. Midway inside his own half, left to centre, long switch of play out to this near side, headed away by Yilmaz, who'd no right to win that in the air, out on this near side as he leapt up with Brodie Spencer. It's all the way back to Kelly again, though. And he goes long in the centre of the pitch, flicked on by Spittle. Slattery chases, but Goldson's there to rifle it clear up into the air. Tavernier picks up the loose ball on the right, gets through the legs of Spittle, and now finds the goal scorer Dowell. He's just outside the centre circle, out to the left for Yilmaz. Now he's getting it into his stride, into the Motherwell territory, rolls it short to Sima. It's a poor pass from Sima, and then a foul there by the on loan Brighton player on Stravkowski, and that is a free kick to Motherwell, midway inside their own half, down on this near side.
You see Yilmaz getting forward there. I mean, the fullbacks from Motherwell are really deep, so it should allow both Rangers fullbacks to get forward. Yilmaz and Tavernier on the opposite side. It should give them space to travel with the ball, and Yilmaz was doing it there, but unfortunately they give away the free kick.
Long ball from O'Donnell from that free kick. Balogun gets his head to it. Goldson commands because he wasn't sure it was getting back to Butland there, and he knocks it out for a Motherwell throw-in level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box. On this main stand side again.
I mean, that's Mika Barrett. He's won 4 or 5 headers already against Leon Balogun, so his timing must be good because he's about 4 inches taller than him.
Brody Spencer takes the short throw and gets it back immediately to Slattery. Misunderstanding though, Spencer wasn't anticipating the ball coming back to him. No, it did. It breaks just into the midfield. Little chip ball by Payton. It's headed clear, but the loose ball goes Motherwell's way. Here's Slattery. It's passed straight to Dowell though. Dowell picks up the loose ball again and flicks it out to this near side for Cantwell. Scored his first Rangers goal here last season. And then Dessers to Sima. Sima out to Dessers, comes bouncing off his ankle, and that favours Stephen O'Donnell, can launch it forward. Too much on it for Beirut to get onto though, and it's right through to Butland. It is Motherwell 0, Rangers 1 on 9 minutes. And that Dowell goal giving Rangers the perfect start, but nightmarish start for Motherwell, who'd finally managed to keep an opposition team out last week at St Mirren in that 0-0 draw. Comes out to Yilmaz, ball forward into Motherwell territory for Cantwell on this left hand side, facing the Motherwell goal now. The slide challenge from Spencer, the ref didn't like it. Free kick Rangers, and this is about level with the edge of the D of the Motherwell box on this near side. Now Spencer looked as though he got plenty of the ball there, but the ref wasn't impressed with the nature of the challenge.
Yeah, he did look as if he got a lot of the ball, but I think he's came through and took the man as well. But Todd Cantwell's finding a position just in behind 2 central midfielders from Motherwell. There's plenty of space in there to get on the ball in that 10 position, and turning he does that there, and he wins a free kick in a real dangerous area. Which,
when you think about that, Motherwell have actually got 4 centre midfield players. So how can one opposition player find space amongst your 4? You know, that's something that I think it's probably Harry Payton or Zabkowski who's going to play at the bottom of the midfield. You're going to have to be aware of that. The one thing Todd Cantwell done there was he enticed the tackle from Brody Spencer. He took a touch out of his foot. He knew he was ahead of him, so if he was going to get a touch on the ball, unfortunately he's going to clatter into him as well, but I'm sure he'll be okay.
Yeah, a bit of a stoppage for the medical team to see to Todd Cantwell down below us. So Rangers unbeaten in 15 under Clement. They're actually unbeaten in 16 all told since losing to Aris and Limassol. Unbeaten domestically since losing to Aberdeen at Ibrox at the end of September in the game that cost Michael Beale his job. And Clement has made the best start as Rangers manager by games played since Alec McLeish, who wasn't beaten until his 18th match in charge, which was against Feyenoord in a UEFA Cup tie, February 01. So it's been an impressive start by the Belgian as Tavernier prepares to take this free kick, right-footed into the box, a good one, headed half away, it's still alive, Goldson heads for goal, and Kelly holds on just to his left-hand side, and it stays 1-0 to Rangers. Cantwell back on now. Again, it's another header at the Motherwell goal. This time it's on target, just didn't quite have the power to beat Liam Kelly, and there's another free kick, Blaney on Dessers this time. It's a bit level with the edge of the centre circle, and Dessers is intimating there that he's hurt his neck, and he's just getting himself back into a sitting position. He's not getting much sympathy from the Motherwell supporters round about us.
The referee's speaking to Todd Cantwell because it's a foul, I agree, and if he gives a yellow card, I have no problem with it, but Todd Cantwell's ran 30 yards to point to the referee and tell him to book him. So I think if Todd Cantwell looks after his job and allows the referee to look after his, the game will be smooth and the game will move on, but I don't think there's any need for that. Was it clumsy? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a foul and nothing more. As you said, Todd Cantwell's ran 20 yards to go and speak to the referee, so he's not pleased with it, but it's a foul. Get on with it.
12 in. 4th minute goal from Kieran Dowell separating the two teams. Still plenty time to go for Motherwell. Well, they can ill afford to concede again, and Rangers have a free kick just At level with the edge of the centre circle, right hand side, Tavernier with a long ball into the box. He's off target this time. Comes all the way through to Liam Kelly, who gathers at the edge of his 6-yard box. Pulls it to O'Donnell. Into the midfield it goes. Little ball forward there is straight into touch for a throw into Rangers. It wasn't the best pass in the world from Zdravkovsky. As O'Donnell's wrestled to the ground by Dessers. Free kick Motherwell this time. And then O'Donnell bounces straight up and has a little go at Cyril Dessers, who's got the arms out in innocence. There's a Motherwell free kick, and it's just about 6 yards from the near side touchline. O'Donnell drifts it forward, headed clear by Balogun. Breaks into the midfield. Dessers with the cushion header back the way, and it's Spencer battling with Seema. He's done really well, the Northern Irishman. Here's Spittle to Spencer, right hand side, well defended though by Ridvan Yilmaz, and it breaks to the edge of the box and cleared by Dowell. Here's Dessers now, midway inside his own half, under pressure from O'Donnell, turns it to Tavernier on the right. Gets good power in the pass down the right-hand side for McCausland. Seema wants it early in the middle. McCausland crosses. Seema comes towards the near post. McCausland went to the back post, and it goes out for a throw-in on this near side for the home team.
It's actually a really good cross across the 6-yard box. I mean, a great pass from James Tavernier down the side, and McCausland gets it wide and flashes it across goal. I think Seema has to bust the gut a little bit more and try and get on the end of it.
I think he'd made his mind up, hadn't he? He was going to move towards the penalty spot area.
I was going to say, I think he changed the direction. He decided he was going to try and go to the penalty spot for the pullback, whereas if he just kept running straight, he would have got in the back of the Motherwell centre half, going to be Stephen O'Donnell, and would have got the tap in. But really good, enticing ball by Ross McCausland.
He's lost his Seema has lost his top scorer status in the last couple of matches. 14 for the campaign, eclipsed by Tavernier, who's currently on 15. He was out for a throw into Motherwell on this near side. O'Donnell is over it in the 15th minute of the match, with Rangers leading 1-0. It's passed back by Spittle to O'Donnell, goes all the way back to his keeper. One thing I would say, Stephen, is I think Motherwell have settled into the game, but Kelly's just giving it straight back to them. Poor ball. Now McCausland racing to the edge of the penalty area. Misunderstanding with Dessers and Cantwell, and it pops out for a Motherwell throw-in on this near side.
I think they've regained their composure a little bit. The big challenge now is, or the next challenge for them is, how can they put a pattern of play together where it can hurt the back line and not just throwing it up front or throwing it in behind, and hoping, can they build the play and be structured?
Yeah, I think they've regained their composure without the ball. They need to be better with the ball and pose a threat more going forward.
Goldson, he's gone back to Butland. It's a dodgy one. Slattery was in close attendance. Butland slides in, and actually worked out really well for him, because his ball up the right finds Tavernier, who moves it infield to Dowell, just to the right of the centre circle, to the left of it for Dujon Sterling, then out to Yilmaz along the deck, infield short ball to Seema, infield to Cantwell, midway inside Motherwell territory, out to the right for Tavernier. Rangers building from the back here. Tavernier back infield to Dowell, who finds Sterling, out to Yilmaz on this near side. Crosses into the edge of the penalty area. Seema chests it down for Cantwell, who scores! It's a brilliant goal! Excellent finish by Cantwell. Side-footed into the bottom left corner of the net. It came from the ball from the back from Jack Butland, and all the way they weaved themselves into the Motherwell area. And from the edge of it, Cantwell strokes Rangers into a 2-0 lead at Fir Park. Motherwell 0, Rangers 2, 16 on the clock.
From a Rangers point of view, it's a great goal. Cantwell starts it off. He starts it in the middle of the pitch. He passes it wide to James Tavernier, and he gets it out the other side. They work it from one side to the other. It comes out to Yilmaz on the left-hand side, and a good delivery into the box. Chested down from Seema, and a wonderful side foot finish in the bottom corner from Cantwell.
I mean, there's two ways of looking at it. Absolutely, the way Rangers cut Motherwell open, they moved the ball, they were patient, and you know, because of the system Motherwell are playing, they are going to have to sit deep, which means you'll spend time in the ball, but be productive with it. Don't just pass for passing's sake. Rangers passed with a purpose, trying to get the ball forward to try and make a chance. But from Motherwell's perspective, I think there was probably 7 or 8 players in the box. So for a Rangers player to take a touch in your box and a second Rangers player to get a strike off and no one making contact, that's a major disappointment. And that clean sheet we spoke about last week at St Mirren, last Saturday against St Mirren, completely wiped out. Stuart said he liked the structure and how disciplined they were. This week, complete opposite.
Rangers on the ball here with Balogun, out to the left-hand side for Yilmaz. Early ball looking for Seema, cut out by O'Donnell up the line, but it's straight to Yilmaz. Now it's with Sterling, who finds Cantwell. It's his second goal of the season. Another one came against Sparta Prague in Europe. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, he scored his first Rangers goal here at Fir Park, so obviously there's good memories of this place, and he's got another one to add to his memory bank there with that fine finish from the edge of the box. And it just came at a time, Stephen, when you felt that Motherwell they've dusted themselves down from the early concession, and yet find themselves 2 down now.
But the thing is, over these last 14 and a bit games, Liam, there's been spells like that where they've looked okay, but they've got a soft centre, they've got a vulnerability and a fragility about them that if you put them under pressure continually, they'll give up goals.
Fall into the box, Mugabe heads it away, so to O'Donnell, but the offside flag goes up on the far side. The other side of things, though, Graham, is that this is just keeping Rangers ticking over. I mentioned the start that Clement has made as manager, and it's been impressive coming into this one, and it's all about, for them, ticking over until they get to Celtic Park next Saturday. They've got that midweek game against Ross County as well, of course, but that's going to obviously, potentially, be a key fixture.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, we spoke before the game and we expected to come here in Motherwell to make it difficult. They haven't so far. Rangers have had a wonderful start, find themselves 2 goals up.
Yeah, Graham's been interrupted by Motherwell coming forward. They might have won a corner here. Yeah, they have. Rangers protest, but it's Brodie Spencer down this near side, winning it off Yilmaz. So can Motherwell hit back quickly?
Well, they have to. There's no doubt about it, because the longer the game goes at 2-0 and Rangers get settled, it becomes very difficult to then to try and go and break them down, and Stewart has to make the changes. So if you can strike back quickly, then it just sows a little seed of doubt.
20 goals in their 18 league games thus far. Motherwell, as the corner comes into the box, it's come off a Motherwell head. It's Spencer, but goes straight out for a Rangers throw-in on the opposite side. So a wasted opportunity for Motherwell from that point of view, the set play, and that might be their best hope this afternoon. They are 2-0 down, and we're still not even a quarter of the way into this. Bireth picks up on the left of the box. It breaks back the way to the left-hand side. Cross comes in from Gent. Rangers clear. Only as far as Spencer. Turns it back to O'Donnell. Goes forward down the right-hand side. I think he's asking too much of Stravkowski there, though. And it rolls behind. Balogun seeing it behind for the goal kick.
I think you said Rangers got it clear, but I think the wind took it. It looked as if Leon Balogun had headed it, and then I realised he was about 3 yards away. The wind tunnel down to your right-hand side, I've got to say, is absolutely horrendous. So I think the swirling wind actually cleared the ball.
Be interesting to know when the wind's going to ease off. It's been like this for days. There's a chance here for Motherwell on the left-hand side. It's passed out to Spittle. He kept it in play. He's got a couple of Rangers players around him, and Dowell and Goldson. Shifts it into midfield here for Payton. Payton back out to Spittle. It's the overlap from Gent. Turns it infield to Slattery. Takes a touch, looks up at the goal and shoots just wide. Decent effort from Callum Slattery, you'd have to say. He's beyond the 20-yard mark from the Rangers goal as he let fly with the effort aimed for the bottom right corner. Butland was forced to dive for it, but it goes about a foot wide of the post, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 2 in the 21st minute.
It's better for Motherwell the last 2 or 3 minutes there. They've got higher up the pitch, got into areas. They've had a corner there coming into the box and a shot from 20 yards, so that'll be pleasing for them. They'll hopefully get more efforts in higher up the pitch and like that there.
Sterling in the centre circle, out to Tavernier on that right hand side. Low ball forward looking for Cantwell. Cut out by Payton. Loose ball breaks to Dowell. Back out to Cantwell and then to Tavernier. Rolls it out to the touchline for McCausland. Infield for Dessers, who dummies it for Sima. Sima picking up and rolling it back to Tavernier, and now it's with Dowell. Pokes it with the toe out to Sterling on the near side. He finds Yilmaz. Loose ball from Yilmaz straight to Bireth, but Balogun bails him out and wins it back. There's Dowell to Cantwell on the right hand side. Looks up at the Motherwell box, drifts the ball in. Too much on it for Dessers, and it sails over both he and Stephen O'Donnell's head and behind for a Motherwell goal kick.
They just look hungry and sharp, Rangers. Coming here, they'd have been thinking, yeah, difficult game, difficult venue. Suddenly 2 goals up in 18 minutes. It changes your whole mindset. It changes your body language, as I mentioned earlier on. Leon Balogun, ball's turned over, snaps into tackle, wins it back quickly. So you can see they're in the mood.
It's a huge game at the bottom of the table coming up next Saturday when Livingston are the visitors here. Livy play St Johnstone during the week as well. So key fixtures at the bottom of the table. Motherwell have to go to Aberdeen before that match against Livy. As Payton collects it on the left and he's bouncing off a Rangers player, and Gent's ball down the line, and it's out for the Motherwell throw-in over on the far side. One thing's for sure, if this is still to remain a contest, Motherwell need the next goal. Sterling wins it back in the midfield. Now it's Cantwell. Struggle to see where it's going to come from right now. That's passed out to Yilmaz on this near side. Yilmaz, was he tripped? Yes, he was. The ref eventually blows the whistle. You can only imagine he was waiting to see if there was an advantage for Rangers there, but it was Motherwell who seemed to be in possession anyway. He gives the free kick eventually, and Yilmaz rolls it back to Balogun, who finds Goldson, and out to Tavernier on the halfway line on that right-hand side. Infield to Dowell, and back to Tavernier. It's 2-0 Rangers. They're beyond the first quarter. And it's those goals from Dowell and Cantwell that are making the difference. Slattery picks up in the centre circle and rolls it back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell to Zdravkovsky, then to O'Donnell, forward to Bireth, out to this near side for Spencer. Back in field to Slattery, good spin away from Sima. Passes it back onto the halfway line for Zdravkovsky. To the centre circle for Payton. Gent's an option on the left, but he lets it go back the way, and I think just about all on those in Claret and Amber in the stands were anticipating the ball, and the best option being the one out wide. Eventually O'Donnell puts it straight out for a throw into Rangers on this near side, and Stuart Kettle was just making that point.
I think it was the obvious pass, Harry Payton to play Georgie Gent in behind, but sometimes when you're a little bit fearful, you made a couple of individual errors, you play the safe pass, you play the negative pass as opposed to the positive one.
So foul by Mugabe on Dessers. Free kick to Rangers, and this is in an attacking position again. Just flirting with the attacking third down here on this near side. Mugabe just a bit too physical for David Dickinson's liking there.
A similar position to the effort that Connor Goldson got in target 10 minutes or so ago, so they'll be hoping for another good delivery from James Tavernier here.
He lands it on the money, doesn't he?
Yep.
You know, as an attacking player and a centre half coming up for a set play, you can gamble and you can run because you know more often than not the ball is going to be on the spot for you.
And the man from Yorkshire has written his name into Rangers folklore, hasn't he? He's now got all 3 winners' medals that you can pick up. The top level in Scotland as Tavernier's free kick comes in, breaks to Goldson at the back post, turns, shoots, blocked. Now it's with Cantwell. Looked like it opened up beautifully for Goldson. Cantwell down to the byline, forced back the way by Mugabe. Out to the right-hand side. Sterling gets back to Cantwell. The cross comes in, missed by both Sima and Dessers. Goldson's there, another shot blocked. Sima prevents it going behind for the goal kick. The Motherwell throw-in. Rangers keep Motherwell hemmed in there, but it does look as though it's only a matter of time before Rangers score a third, the way things are going right now.
Yeah, Motherwell at 6s and 7s at the back there. It was actually not James Tavernier's best delivery. It goes in the front area, and as a Motherwell player there, he just has to head it away, and he misses the ball, and it drops to Connor Goldson at the back post, and he can't make any connection on it there, and he gets another opportunity again after that, and it's a similar thing. He can't make the connection to get it on target.
Well, Rangers have now scored 39 goals in their last 13 and a bit visits here. One of their favourite venues. One of Motherwell's least favourite fixtures, if not the least favourite. Yilmaz prepares to take a throw and level with the edge of the centre circle in the Motherwell half. And he bowls it back to Balogun, who passes it along the grass to Goldson, moving towards 26 minutes. Out to Tavernier on the right-hand side, long ball forward, it's blocked by Spencer. It was long out to the far side, nodded forward towards Bireth by Spittle. No foul in Bireth by Goldson, so Rangers have it. It's back with Butland at the edge of his box. And along his 18-yard line, he works the angle for Dujon Sterling, and now he finds Goldson. And out to Tavernier on the right. Rangers' second goal began with the Rangers keeper. Tavernier's ball forward wasn't his best, cut out. Mugabe gets it away, sliding in is Spittle, breaks to Slattery. Slattery on the turn, lovely little pirouette away from Cantwell, outside of the boot, flicks it wide left for Georgie Gent, up against McCausland, fancies his chances, driving forward, but he runs out of pitch, and he was behind for the goal kick. Motherwell 0, Rangers 2, but it's good attacking intent from Motherwell there, and it's brilliant play in the midfield from Callum Slattery.
He's actually a tidy footballer, and I think Blair Spittle's the same, and Harry Payton can be as well, so what they don't get often enough is end product with their play. Georgie Gent's a little bit ambitious. I think he knocks the ball. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to take Ross McCausland back the pitch, but unfortunately gathers too much pace.
Dessers winning it back off Mugabe, only momentarily though. Some battle that between those two. Mugabe wants to play some football and he's in trouble. Cantwell wins it back. Dessers has it, edge of the box, shoots, saved by Kelly and put behind for the corner by Blaney. Again, it's Motherwell's own making as Rangers pick up another corner. 27.5 on the clock. They lead 2-0.
That was the bad of Bevis Mugabe, the good of Bevis Mugabe, and the bad of Bevis Mugabe, all in the 3 or 4 seconds. That's where, as a central defender, you're renowned for being defensive-minded, make good decisions, don't take risks, don't put your team or yourself under pressure, and unfortunately that's what he did.
Once you've done it once and you beat the man, give the ball to your midfield players and let them go and play.
Corner's flighted in by Yilmaz towards the back post. Goldson wins a header, but it can only head it away from goal. Dessers can't win it, and the flag's gone up, I'm assuming. Did that swing behind the byline? Because it was a strange-looking corner, actually, from Yilmaz.
Yeah, I think it just got caught in the wind and it's took it out before it's came back in. But again, just going back to that, Mugabe, he's done well initially on the ball. He's come inside, but just give it to your forward players, give it to your more attacking players. And he's tried to go again and beat him again and lost the ball. Stuart Kettle won't be happy with his defenders so far.
Do you know, when you think about it, I always say about defenders, if you were that good with the ball, you'd be playing in midfield. You wouldn't be playing centre half. So give the ball to the players who can play. That's how it works.
It's amazing the number of centre halves think they can do that. Here come Motherwell down the right. Rabirez, he's done well up against Balogun. He's getting towards goal. Balogun slides in. Fantastic challenge. He's claiming he was fouled by Bireth in the build-up there, but he's recovered superbly well to help out Jack Butland, who might have been able to pinch it back off Bireth in any case, but he was coming at a fair rate of knots at him. So Balogun slides in, and he had to be picture perfect there, didn't he? Otherwise, it was looking like it might have been a penalty.
I've got to say, it was a great battle, wasn't it? Bireth just rolling him, showing that change of pace, but great recovery pace from Leon Balogun.
Blair Spittle's out-swinging corner for Motherwell on this right-hand side as they attack the goal to the right. Out-swinger, the right boot of Spittle, in it comes, headed away by Balogun. Up into the air it goes. It's off O'Donnell's head, but it goes behind harmlessly for the goal kick. Just about on the half-hour mark here, and Rangers leading by 2-0. Motherwell, remember, 14 without a win coming into this one since beating Hearts at Tynecastle on the 3rd of September. A game they won 1-0. 14 without a win. As things stand, it would be 15. The club record without winning is 16. So heading towards an unwanted rewriting of the history books at this club. This is their longest winless run since going 15 without one in 1995 into 96 under Alec McLeish. They can equal that today. Rangers pick up a throw-in over on the far side. Level their own 18. He's back the way towards Goldson. Getting caught in the wind off a Motherwell man and behind for a goal kick.
And it's a major worry, Liam, the things you're going through. I mean, I heard you talking about it at the top of the programme. I think this is Motherwell's 39th successive season in the top flight.
Yep.
Third longest serving club after Celtic and Aberdeen. It really feels like it's under threat this season. It's been under threat before and they've got away with it, but there just seems a sense that the longer you go without a victory, the tougher it becomes.
Yeah, this run of top flight football began in 1986 and it's been unblemished since then. As I said earlier, a couple of hairy moments along the ride. They'll be hoping that isn't the case this season. It looked for a long time last season that they were going to be in big trouble. Stuart Kettlewell came in and went on that magnificent run of results that had them threatening the top 6 at one point. Their run just started too late for that to be the case. But they would have signed up for where they ended up this time last year, that's for sure.
Yeah, it has been a real poor run, but you know, winning football games becomes a habit, but tell you what, losing football games also becomes a habit. So as well as I mentioned before the show that they are playing and they're not far away, if you keep losing games, the games run out and you find yourself coming into April, May time, if you find yourself down the bottom of the league, you find yourself in trouble.
Yeah, they've scrambled a few points here and there with draws, last minute goals, sometimes a couple of last minute goals. Balogun collects and finds Goldson, and you're going up against one of the top two, and the top two are miles ahead of everyone else right now. And it was the same last season, the same the season before. And how does that change? It's Motherwell in possession here with Payton. Forward to Slattery, back to Payton on the left-hand side, midway inside his own half. The rain begins to pour down again as Motherwell pick up a free kick wide on the left-hand side.
On that point, Liam, I don't think you can change it over a season when you coming up against the big two, but what you can change it is individual games. Be difficult to play against. Don't give them a head start. Don't give them any encouragement. Don't give them a 2-goal start. Everything that you can't afford to do, Motherwell done in the opening 15 or 16 minutes, and it's absolutely criminal, because for Motherwell to score 3 goals here against Rangers and win the game, it almost seems inconceivable that would happen. There's
a long ball from Liam Kelly, which he took from just outside his own box, and it flies out for a Rangers goal kick. Apologising to player Spittle. It will be a Rangers ball, almost on 33. Rangers with a 2-0 lead. Those early strikes from Dowell and Cantwell have them currently on easy street on this Christmas Eve. 4 and 16 minutes the goals went in. Yilmaz picks up, and it's lofted ball to the halfway line. It's headed forward there by Stravkowski, picked up by Cantwell, back to Sterling. Cantwell goes down, he's looking for a free kick. It's now with Tavernier wide on the right. It's a long pinged ball looking for Sima, cushioned header away by Mugabe. Payton picks it up under pressure from Dessers, finds Spittle on that left hand side. Short ball back the way, and it will be Payton to Blaney, and he goes all the way back to his keeper. He has it round about the penalty spot, under no pressure right now. He'll slip it out to O'Donnell on this near side. Long ball forward, underneath it should be Balogun, who does really well, flicks it back to his goalkeeper, and he's someone who's grasped his opportunity, because keeping Ben Davies and John Souttar out of the side, and he wasn't getting a kick at all under Michael Beale. Clement obviously sees what he can do, the veteran at the back, Graham.
Yep, someone who was probably a little bit surprised when he came back to the club, but as you said there, he stepped into that role. He seems to have done very well since Clement's came in, and he's made that position his own for most of the games. Obviously missed out in the European spots, but
yeah, Payton gave it away there. Cantwell knocking it forward to McCausland, up against Blaney, shoots for goal. Kelly saves, Dessers on the rebound, swipes it fresh air, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 2. Dessers' eyes must have lit up there when that ball came back to him, because if he makes clean contact with that and gets on target, it's surely 3-0. Brilliant play by McCausland again down the right hand side.
Yeah, it's a good effort, it's a cross goal. McCausland does everything right, but again it's Motherwell losing the ball in the centre of the pitch in a dangerous area, and a one simple pass through and McCausland gets a shot and goal.
You come Motherwell up the other end. Gent, can he keep it in play? I don't think he did he? Bireth gets onto it, left of the 6-yard box, and he goes behind for a goal kick. He must have just kept it in play. Really good turn of pace by Georgie Gent down that left flank, but it's to no avail, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 2. 10 to play in the first half.
It was a good passage of play from both sides, and that's what Ross McCausland wants. He wants to be 1v1 against central defenders or wing backs, get into the opposition box, because he knows they can't touch him and he can move the ball. He moved it really well, got a nice strike off, but you're right, good play by Payton in the midfield, and Slattery worked it out to Georgie Gent, but unfortunately they couldn't get an end product, Motherwell.
Was Ross McCausland someone who was spoken about as a youngster? The Rangers brought him from Linfield, but is he a name that you were fully aware of as he was growing up back home?
Kind of. It was my understanding that he was close to leaving the club in the summer, whether that on loan or on a full-time contract somewhere else, and I wouldn't say the manager who I spoke to. So there was a real opportunity. He could have been out of the club in the summer just because there wasn't a pathway for him to go through. So from that perspective to where he is now, Liam, it's been an incredible turnaround. He's made his international debut. He's now got a regular game in the Rangers team, and you can see when he's on the ball, he likes to game up.
Motherwell have it in the attacking third here, down the left-hand side. Conditions deteriorating again as the free kick goes Rangers' way. Foul on McCausland over on that far side. Motherwell desperately trying to stay in this game. 2 goals behind. Stuart Kettlewell and Stephen Frail down there just having a conversation. They're going to be having a conversation with the players in the next 10 minutes or so, but they really have to hope that the damage doesn't get any worse before that conversation takes place.
The last thing you want when you come up against one of the old firm is to have to open up and expose yourself and go chasing the game. That's exactly what they want, because they've got so much quality, they've so much pace, they can just pick you off the minute the gaps appear. So Motherwell find himself in an enviable position.
Yeah, they would have been speaking before the game and keep it tight, and the longer the game goes on, Rangers will maybe get frustrated. As you can see now, the weather's changing, it ruins the game a little bit if they could have stayed in the game and kept it in 0-0, but such a poor start to concede after 4 minutes.
Kelly chipping it out to this near side, looking for Spencer. Yilmaz puts him off, but it's going to break back to Spencer in the midfield. He toes it forward. Spittle will give chase, but Goldson will nod it back. There's just a little split second there that looked like Connor Goldson with a little bit of a panic on when he realised that the ball had caught in the wind. He had to move a little bit quicker to get the header back to his keeper. As Dessers fouls Spittle on the halfway line left of the centre circle. Free kick Motherwell.
That's what lets him down sometimes, Dessers. He's a little bit sloppy, he's a little bit lazy in possession when he's getting some plaudits. Don't give people an opportunity to have a go at you. Be tidy in your play.
Slattery, good run forward out to Gent. His cross is cut out though. And then Cantwell, lovely play from Dill, shuffles away from Slattery, and now it's with McCausland who finds Cantwell, and Rangers are on the march here. Rolled by Cantwell out to Abdallah Sima down the left hand side. Couldn't get it into his strides, just to check his run out to this near side. He pops it infield to Cantwell, back to Sima. He's in the Motherwell box now, looks for goal, looks for the top corner, it puts it high and wide, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 2 on 38.
Yeah, you jumped in. I was just about to say that there, Stephen, when you jumped in. I think Dessers took a lot of stick this season. He works hard and he's very honest, but in terms of that, that's what lets him down. He's just his little bit of quality, his hold-up play. He gives away a silly foul. That's got to be better. I mean, you see his goal in the Europa League. That's the quality that Rangers fans want to see. So they need to see more of that.
Yeah, he's definitely got something. We saw the goals he scored for Feyenoord in their run to the Conference League final a couple of seasons ago. Some of the goals he scored in that run were terrific. As Graham's talking about that goal in Seville against Betis, which was so crucial to the outcome of that match and the outcome of that Europa League group. Spittle knocking it down the line, and it's going to go out for a throw-in to Rangers deep inside their own half over on the far side. Kind of a message can Stuart Kettle give to his players in this kind of scenario, Stephen?
Well, you said it probably about 15 minutes ago. They have to get the next goal. There's absolutely no doubt about it. They have to give themselves a little bit of hope, and that hope comes from getting the goal and potentially putting a little bit of doubt in the Rangers players' minds. At this moment in time, Rangers are cruising through the game. The game is exactly where they want it, so you have to knock them out of the rhythm, and the only way to do it for me is get the next goal.
Well, you kind of suspected Rangers would score today, given their form, but also given the fact they've only haven't failed to score here in a league match at Fir Park since September 09, a goalless draw. Normally score more than one. They have today. O'Donnell with a long ball forward right down the pitch, comes all the way through to Butland. And now, I mean, they're playing like a team with no confidence. Yeah, it was like Livingston at Celtic Park yesterday.
That's not good enough there. They take a goal kick and Stephen O'Donnell gets it at the edge of his box, and there's options to play into midfield and try and play through it, but it goes long, and it's easy for the Rangers defender just to let it run through to Jack Butland.
Slattery and Spittle have probably been bright spots for Motherwell today. They're always looking for the ball, and here's a chance down the right. Spencer gets the cross in, headed up into the air by Balogun. Spittle waiting for it, cleared by Tavernier. Stravkowski into the penalty area for Bireth, who turns and shoots, takes a block off Balogun, took the sting out of it, and allows Tavernier to sweep it clear from inside his 6-yard box. Stays 2-0 Rangers within the final 5 of the opening 45. Here on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland, across the frequencies, on digital, online at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland. Tuesday, Boxing Day, Dundee Celtic, 3 o'clock kickoff. Wednesday includes the second Edinburgh derby of the season. It's at Easter Road, Hibernian against Heart of Midlothian, 8 o'clock kickoff. Amongst all that, there will be the other 4 fixtures. Motherwell at Pittodrie, Rangers at home to Ross County. Friday, Tannadice, Dundee United, Partick Thistle in the Championship on the BBC Scotland TV channel. And next Saturday, the action includes Celtic Rangers, 12:30 kickoff at Celtic Park. Motherwell have a free kick here and a chance potentially to load the box. They have indeed decided to do that, so O'Donnell, Mugabe and Blaney have all made their way to the edge of the Rangers penalty box. Spittle plays it low instead though, to the right of the penalty area for Bireth. Back to Spittle, his cross comes in, flicked out to the left-hand side of the box for Gent. Well, he eventually gets it under control, decides to take on Sima, but Sima will use his strength to win it back. He's got a free kick as well. He just felt, as soon as the ball reached Gent, the first thing he had to do was attack the box. He decided to go to the corner flag.
I think Stephen touched on it earlier on. I think that's a confidence issue. I mean, the ball's coming out to him, and he takes a touch, it bounces to him in the box. He ends up taking his first touch near enough on the touch line to try and get round Sima. So go and attack the ball, be confident, go and put it back into an area, and he didn't do that, and it's he gives away a foul, and it's comfortable for Sima in the end.
I mean, he's a young man on loan from Blackburn, and I get that, but there's 2 or 3 games I've watched him, and I'm never convinced he's going to go past a player on the outside. He doesn't have that little change of pace, he doesn't have that trick, but he continually tries it. So maybe you have to mix your game up, come inside and see if you can link up play, or throw it onto your right foot and try and put an in-swinging cross.
Free kick Rangers, foul on McCausland over on that right hand side. Payton is to give the ball back. Rangers will have the ball on the far side there in front of these stands, but level with the edge of the centre circle. Not many teams are scoring domestically against Rangers just now. 2 from Shankland, 1 from Miovski and 1 from Bakayoko for Dundee last week, and that's it as far as domestic goals that have gone in against Rangers since Philippe Clement took over. It's Cantwell, he was fouled by Payton, but he bounces straight back up, driving forward, and then eventually Blaney wipes him out. Rangers still have it with McCausland. The cross into the box, it comes, cleared by O'Donnell, and out for a throw-in over on the far side. I think the Motherwell fans feel Todd Cantwell's making the most of these, but I think there was 1 or 2 fouls in that build-up. 43 on the clock, 2-0 Rangers. Here's Yilmaz picking it up on this left-hand side. Down the line for Sima, pushed to the ground by Spencer, free kick Rangers.
I mean, you can argue all you want about free kicks, but if you shove someone in the back with 2 hands, it's clear and obvious free kick. And the one on the far side from Shane Blaney, he dives in. I think Cantwell makes a bit of an exaggeration of it. It is a foul, he catches him slightly, so Motherwell can't really have any complaints.
Another free kick for Rangers as they try and find a third before the interval. And James Tavernier having a word with referee Dickinson, and he and Dowell are over this free kick. A few yards from this near side touchline, just beyond the midway point of the Motherwell half. It's Dowell this time with the left foot, bends it in towards Dessers, headed half away. Cantwell hits it on the volley. There's a wonderful save from Liam Kelly. Fingertips to put it over the bar. That was making for the top right corner, and it stays in the final minute of the first half. Motherwell 0, Rangers 2.
Yeah, an unbelievable effort there from Todd Cantwell, just into the 18-yard box, the free kick out here in the left-hand side. James Tavernier leaves it to Kieran Dowell. It's a good ball and defended well by Motherwell, but Cantwell gets to the end of the box and he shows great technique to just get over it, and it's a good save from Liam Kelly as well.
So the corner to Rangers, outswinger from Tavernier from that right-hand side, and it comes up into the air from Blaney. Balogun trying to get there, it's going to be headed behind for another corner by Beirut this time. About to find out what the stoppage time is going to be at the end of the first half. 2 or 3 minutes. I would have thought there was the injury to Cantwell earlier, which required a decent stoppage. And Rangers have another corner as they attack the Davy Cooper stand. A man who served both these clubs so well and so successfully. And just the 1 minute actually added on at the end as the ref comes to speak to McCausland and Slattery inside the 6-yard box of the penalty area. And Tavernier will get another chance here to deliver. It's a low ball, hits towards Cantwell, who knocks it first time towards goal, but he scoops it high over the bar, and it stays 2-0 to the League Cup winners here in Lanarkshire.
And it's been comfortable for them, hasn't it, really? I don't remember anything of note that Jack Butland has had to do. And
well, they've blown the feeling in your water right out of there, haven't they?
Well, they have, but Motherwell prefer shooting the other way in the second half, Liam, so that I'm still remaining optimistic.
Well, the thing is that Motherwell concede lots of goals, but you're not the lowest scorers in the league. Still not anywhere near where they want it to be. As McCausland into the penalty area for Tavernier, hits it first time, blocked, back towards Cantwell, shoots for goal, blocked, drops to the edge of the penalty area. It's Payton who'll leather it forward, and David Dickinson ends the first half. A comfortable first half for the visitors. Few boos ringing out there from the home sections. Another afternoon of toil for those in claret and amber. Rangers scoring early through Dowell inside 4 minutes. A dreadful error at the back from Shane Blaney, and Rangers took full advantage. It was Dowell to Dessers, back to Dowell, who smashed home his second for the club and second of the season. Cantwell got his second of the season on 16 minutes after a really good move. It began right deep inside the Rangers half. The goalkeeper got it and started a move that ended with Todd Cantwell sweeping it home into the bottom left corner from the edge of the box. They've had other chances. Liam Kelly with an outstanding save from Cantwell right at the end of the half there, having saved from Ross McCausland earlier. And that means the half-time scoreline here is Motherwell 0, Rangers 2.
On digital radio,
FM,
online at BBC Sports Scotland,
your smart speaker,
and on BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
When I was asked to review the sporting year once again, I confess I was like a kid in a sweet shop.
The whole experience of the Ryder Cup, for me it was to try and almost show the kids that anything's possible.
Join Hazel Irvine and guests for her 2023 roundup.
It's been great to go and watch the Scotland team.
And those are the races that have been a total success for me.
Including the incredible cyclist Katie Archibald, Ryder Cup golfer Bob McIntyre, swimmer Duncan Scott, Dame Catherine Granger, football greats Murdo MacLeod and Ali McCoist, plus a couple of surprised first foot guests as well.
Hazel Irvine's 2023 roundup, Hogmanay morning from 8 on BBC Radio Scotland.
We are midway through the final SPFL Premiership fixture before Christmas, and it has been absolutely dominant performance by Rangers. Those early goals from Kieran Dowell and Todd Cantwell, each player getting their second of the season, but there might have been many more over the course of the 45 minutes. You'll be able to watch the highlights tonight on Sports Scene. That'll be at 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel. And of course, it's a busy time of the year for football. Do look out for all the midweek action. Tuesday afternoon, 3 o'clock kickoff, Dundee against Celtic. And then Wednesday evening, Sports Scene will be on from 6. We've got Rangers against Ross County, Aberdeen, Motherwell, Livingston, St Johnstone, St Mirren, Kilmarnock. And the 8 o'clock kickoff in the capital, the Edinburgh Derby, Hibernian against Heart of Midlothian. There's highlights on both nights as well. The Tuesday night, 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel. Wednesday, 10:30 on BBC Scotland. Full coverage, as you would expect, of all the action from all around the country. Still to come this afternoon, we'll look back on the action from yesterday. We'll have a chat generally on where we are at this stage of the season as we begin to tip into the new year, very close to doing just that. And we'll also, of course, be reflecting on the action at Fir Park. Has been all about Rangers in the opening 45 minutes. I suppose the only positive Motherwell could possibly have, Stephen, is that it is just 2-0.
Yeah, they're still in the game. Not still in the game, but they've got an opportunity to get the next goal.
You
they
really are full of optimism at this Christmas period, aren't you?
Listen, this is what playing at Motherwell and follow Motherwell does for you, Richard. You have to be always optimistic, otherwise you just give up and you just never come back. So I'd said to Liam during the commentary, Motherwell prefer shooting towards the Cooper end in the second half, so that's still been optimistic, but there's no doubt the next goal has to come a Motherwell way. I'd said it during the commentary, trying to upset the Rangers' confidence and belief. It's been far too easy. At times Motherwell have been passive, they've been easy to play against. They haven't had that steeliness they had last weekend against St Mirren that kept them in the game. And you can see why they've only kept 2 clean sheets this season, by how they've defended and the opportunities have passed up. So, listen, it was always going to be a huge ask, but when you come up against a team who are in good form and feeling good about themselves and they're in the groove, you can't give them a helping hand. You can't give them opportunities. And as much as you can criticise the manager and you can criticise style, the decision from Shane Blaney after 4 minutes to play a straight ball into midfield is absolutely criminal. I can't imagine Stuart at any stage this week has said, listen, after 4 or 5 minutes of the game, we're going to try and roll the ball straight into midfield and try and get Rangers to press us to see if they can nick the ball off us. Absolutely not. There has to be a responsibility in players to recognise the game, recognise how they're going, what kind of state of mind they're in, what the opposition they're playing against, and make positive decisions. They didn't do that, and they've been punished for it. And from that moment on, the Rangers have been dominant, they've enjoyed the game, and that's something that Stuart won't be happy with.
Yeah, look, I'll come to Rangers in a moment, but it strikes me that the issues for Motherwell have been twofold. Not only have they been poor at the back, they've offered absolutely next to nothing going forward, haven't they? Yeah, well, when you play with one centre forward and you play with 4 midfield players who all want to get on the ball, Blair Spittles, Drakowski, Harry Payton and Callum Slattery, they're tidy football players. They don't want to run away from the ball, they want to run towards the ball to get on it.
and try and make things happen. And sometimes the four of them, you could probably throw a blanket over them. So whenever the defenders decide to go long and miss all four out, Mika Berev has to go chasing channels. He has to try and challenge Connor Goldson and then run off the back of Leon Balogun. So it's a thankless task being a 20-year-old striker at Motherwell playing against two aggressive centre halves when the service you're getting isn't very good. So Stuart has a decision to make. Does he stick with what he's doing, or does he put a second centre forward up to try and play alongside him? Because if you're going to play long, straight, hopeful balls forward, you might as well put on Theo Bair, who's big and aggressive and strong, or John Obika, who's big, aggressive and strong. They allow them to go and fight and scrap and try and win battles, and then allow Mika Berev to work off him. But as a lone striker, unfortunately, at this moment in time, it hasn't worked, and that's why they've no productivity and they've nothing to show.
So it's been a tale of woe for Motherwell. For Rangers, Graham, it's been, as I said earlier, utter dominance, hasn't it?
Yeah, Rangers have been so comfortable in the game. I mean, I came into the stadium earlier on before the game kicked off, and the wind was howling and the rain was battering down, and I thought the same as Stephen. I thought this was going to be a difficult game. Motherwell obviously trying to play out from the back, causing their own downfall. Rangers took that chance up, that took the pressed the ball well, got the goal, got in front early doors, and it kills Motherwell's game plan. I mean, I don't actually think Rangers have got out of second gear yet and really hit full speed. It's been Motherwell that's been causing their own downfall, but they're still in the game, as you mentioned there. It's 2-0. As poorly as they've played, if they can manage to go and nick the next goal, then the game opens up again. But on the other hand, if Rangers get the next goal, then it's a damage limitation after that, I think, and you have to stop Rangers going getting 45 after that.
Just watching a rerun of that first goal, well, I think everyone would agree that it was poor defensive play by Motherwell, but a lot of credit goes to the Rangers players, doesn't it, in terms of the high press. First of all, it was Cantwell who was putting Blaney under a bit of pressure. The ball infield to Payton, it wasn't particularly accurate, but Dowell was right on top of him. He gains possession, he's the 1-2 with Dessers, and it's a fine finish. So I mean, I suppose these are all the things that Philippe Clement would have been looking for his players to do.
Absolutely. There's a time and a place for the Motherwell players to play out from the back and find the midfield players, but 4 minutes into the game to play a straight pass into your central midfield, it's a real trigger for Kieran Dowell to go and press and go and get on top of them, and he done that, and he nicks the ball back well and plays a wonderful 1-2 with Dessers, and it's a great finish, and I'm pleased for him as well, because we touched on at the start of the show, he's come in, he's got his opportunity through injuries. He's not really had a lot of game time, so great for him, and I think he's been good in the game so far. He's really controlled that midfield area, and it's great for him to go and get his goal.
Yeah, I think he's been quietly. Sorry, Richard. I think he's been quietly efficient, Kieran Dowell, alongside Dujon Sterling. That they've won the ball, they've kept it simple, they haven't complicated the game. Rather than get in trying to make a name for yourself and big switches of play, they've just ticked it over. They've been a real solid base in that midfield that when Motherwell break, they can just stop the play, they can just move the ball on. And when you consider he probably wouldn't be a first choice if everybody was fit, Dujon Sterling wouldn't be a first choice in the team in any place if all the midfield players were fit. So when Graham mentioned earlier on about opportunities and taking opportunities, that's exactly what those two players have done, and they've just probably give Philippe Clement a little bit more depth all over the team, knowing that they're not just waiting for the injuries to come back, because they can actually cope with what they have so far. So I think they have been good, the two of them.
That first goal was all about, I don't know, the top 20-25 yards of the pitch, I suppose. The second one, Graham, very, very different in terms of the build-up there. It's come all the way from the goalkeeper Jack Butland.
Yeah, it's come from Jack Butland, and Todd Cantwell finds his cell in the middle of the pitch in that number 10 position where he's picked up good areas, and he switches it wide. He starts to play off, he switches it wide out to James Tavernier, and it managed to find its way back out to Yilmaz. But it's a good cross in, because Motherwell have got 5 players in the box, they're deep, but his cross comes to almost the edge of the box, and Seamuth, it's a great touch with his chest, and Cantwell comes in and slots it into the side net. It's a great finish.
Yeah, beyond that, Dessers might have scored, McCausland might have scored. Cantwell had it was actually a sensational, it's just one of those classic moments for both teams. It's a magnificent volley by Cantwell, it's a superb save by Liam Kelly. They are going to have to try to find some way, aren't they, of stemming the flow, Motherwell?
They are, and it usually comes from being better in possession, trying to play forward with quality, not just hopeful long balls and allowing a young 20-year-old to go and try and chase after it and leave him on his own. Players have to get round about him, and they have to try and find a way of upsetting the Rangers' rhythm, because when you're a good team and you're in your rhythm, everyone's enjoying it. They're knocking the ball around, they're popping little 1-2s, and Motherwell didn't really want to have to come and open up this afternoon. But the longer this game goes, they are going to have to gamble, they're going to have to overcommit, which means McCausland will have a lot more space to play, and Seema, who has been very quiet, I've got to say, will have a lot more room to work in. Cantwell will have even more space to play in. So as much as you're forcing the game trying to get back into it, there is the real possibility that a third, fourth, fifth, sixth goal could come if you're not careful with what you do. However, I was at a game yesterday. I was at Kilmarnock against St Johnstone, and Kilmarnock was so far ahead in the first half.
Yeah.
It could have been more than 2 goals, and St Johnstone were lost. Suddenly it went 2-1. I know it's a different quality of player I'm talking about, but there was a nervousness about Kilmarnock. There was a real uncomfortable feeling around Rugby Park, and they're giving up, and suddenly St Johnstone got ahead of steam up. So if Motherwell have to find any inspiration, it has to come from that way, where they make it 2-1 and then they can overcommit, and Stuart can make a subs and throw people on.
They're certainly still in the game. I mean, as you touched on that, I don't think Rangers have been great. Motherwell have caused their own problems. Most of the Rangers' chances have came from Motherwell dwelling on the ball, being caught in the ball in the middle of the pitch. So it's 2-0, so the game's still open. If Motherwell can go and open up, and the longer the game's on, if we can get into 60 minutes, 70 minutes, if Motherwell can go and push forward and get the next goal, then it's game on. But as I said, if they don't get the next goal, then it's damage limitation after that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, is it twofold in the sense that it depends partly on the attitude of the Rangers players, if they want to just keep going for the jugular, if you'd like, keep trying to chase the goals, and what do Motherwell do? Do they look to try to be more solid first 15-20 minutes, get a foothold in the game, or do they have to come out, Graham, and have a bit of a go at Rangers and try to put them under pressure?
They will eventually have to come out, but I think they'll come out in the second half. They'll probably play the same way and try and get a set piece, try and get balls into the box. I think they will for the first 15-20 minutes, but at some point they're going to have to open up and maybe make changes and bring Obika on, or Bear or someone to give them a bit more of a threat up front. So the longer the game comes on, it's going to open up, and you will see more goals in this game one way or another, I think.
I mean, I don't imagine Philippe Clement is going to be in there saying to his players, listen, let's just relax and let's take it easy. We spoke about his presence and the demands that he's clearly had since he came to Rangers. So as much as he knows his team are 2-0 up, people always speak about this awkward 2-0 scoreline. He won't even be thinking that way. His full mindset will be, let's get another, and let's get another after that. I think he showed since he came into the football club that he isn't going to settle for just coasting through games and allowing players to coast through seasons. He wants to go and win games. He wants to win comfortably. He puts demands on his players, hence the reason why they've been so good since he came in. So there's no way Rangers are going to settle and their attitude's going to change and they're going to take their foot off the gas. He won't allow that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess part of the issue, quite simply for Motherwell, and Stuart was talking before about not having a big squad, but what he doesn't do is have a proliferation of goal scorers. I mean, you're talking about Obika and Bear. Obika's got 3 goals all season. He's never been a regular scorer, got the odd goal over the years, and Theo Bear remains largely untried and has 1 goal all season.
Yeah, well, that was my issue probably with some of the recruitment in the summer, that Conor Wilkinson's never been a regular goal scorer throughout his career. Theo Bear's not been. John Obika's never been. Mika Breath was an unknown talent. So suddenly you've got 4 or 5 strikers where you're thinking, who's going to get you 15 goals? To be fair, who gets 15 goals as a centre? Who can get double figures? And it looks like Mika Breath could do that. And Liam was talking about Blair Spittle and about Callum Slattery being pleasing on the eye, and they're good. They catch your eye, they've lovely little passes. Blair Spittle's got 2 goals and Callum Slattery's got 1. So there's absolutely no end product from a lot of the players in the team. And no matter how many substitutions you make, no matter how much you change the system around, you change the personnel, if you're not instinctively a goal scorer, you put yourself in position to score goals, it's not just going to happen for you. So this was my point when I said about Stuart not having the flexibility to change to a 4-3-3. He doesn't have any width, he doesn't have any wingers. So he's stuck with what he has, and he's consistently trying to come up with systems and players and personnel that will make something work. And over the last 14 and a half games, it hasn't worked, and it's been clear and obvious.
Yeah, look, it's not just an issue for Motherwell. It's perhaps something we can develop actually in the chat in the final hour of the programme. Just the dearth, if you like, of goal scorers. Yeah, there's the likes of Miovski for Aberdeen, Lawrence Shanklin, of course, for Hearts, and for Rangers, both James Tavernier and Abdallah Sima. Simon Murray got some goals in the League Cup earlier on, which has helped to his tally, but these are the only guys who are into double figures so far this season. So maybe we'll get the further thoughts from Stephen and Graham on that towards the end of the programme. The players, though, beginning to re-emerge. Rangers in a strong position. Dowell and Cantwell with early goals. It is Motherwell 0, Rangers 2. The second half coming up live here in Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland with Graham Doran, Stephen Craigan and Liam McLeod.
Thank you, Richard. Looks like Motherwell have made a change at the break. Bevis Mugabe's come off to be replaced by the masked figure of Paul McGinn. And the start of the second 45 minutes here at Fir Park. And Motherwell mount a comeback. Well, if you're an optimistic Motherwell supporter, you'll probably take solace from the fact that the vast majority of their goals have come in the second half of games. 17 of their 20 have come in the second half of Premiership matches this season, which is pretty stark. Kick-off, Motherwell and the Claret and Amber, right to left as we watch from the back of the main stand, shooting towards the Davy Cooper stand end. Rangers shooting south where their supporters are housed in the big two-tier standoff to our right. The wind continues to whip around the stadium. The flag's blowing over there above the east stand. It is grey skies above. And it is Motherwell who have the ball here with Blaney forward, but it's cleared long by Tavernier. Dessers trying to get under control. No flag against him. He's giving it away anyway. And it's a long ball from Spencer up towards Beireth, who tries to control under pressure from Balogun, who runs the ball out of play, and it'll be a Motherwell throw-in over on the far side. That's certainly reminding Stephen of Motherwell's penchant for goals in the second half of matches. Has piqued his interest some more.
Well, you see, you're starting to buy into my optimism, Liam. You're starting to give me stats that backs up Motherwell could come back into this game. I love it.
There's Rangers on the ball with Dessers, back to Cantwell, driving forward. McGinn though wins it back and finds Payton, and then Blaney, long ball forward, cut out by Tavernier in the centre circle. He finds Sterling, and now it's with Dowell. He'll flick it forward to McCausland on the right, but he runs into Blaney, who clears down this near side. So it's Kelly in goal for Motherwell. We've got O'Donnell, McGinn and Blaney, Spencer and Gent, Slattery, Payton, Stravkowski, Spittle and Beireth. For Rangers, Butland in goal, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun, Yilmaz, Sterling, Dowell who got the first, McCausland, Cantwell who got the second, Sima and Dessers. And it's Tavernier who bowls it back the way to Goldson. Side foot ball back to his goalkeeper Butland, looking to continue his excellent clean sheet return. He's got one every other game statistics in that regard. This is his 32nd appearance, 16 clean sheets coming into this. Spittle picks up and does well, slips it out wide left for Gent. Early ball right across the face of goal, and Balogun slides it behind for the corner. That's better from Motherwell.
Yeah, it was a great delivery. I mean, Ross McCausland gets caught in the ball in the middle of the park, and it's a good pass wide, and it's a fantastic delivery across the face of the box, and I think it was Balogun defends it well and puts out for a corner,
which will be taken by Blair Spittle. In swinger with the right foot coming up here from the Motherwell number 7. Congested 6-yard box, and on top of the goalkeeper, headed away by Goldson. And then Motherwell claiming that Slattery was fouled there. It was a small enough appeal. The ref wasn't interested in giving them a penalty, and then he gives Rangers a free kick for a challenge, and Dessers just to the right of the centre circle.
It's a free kick, and the problem is there's 2 Motherwell players against 1 Rangers player, and the ball pops out of the box and the Rangers player picks the ball up. Stradkowski should have been in front of Dessers and fully aware that when the ball pops out he can pick up the second balls, but he doesn't, and then he has to foul him, he has to bring him down. It's a free kick,
which will be taken by Connor Goldson just inside the centre circle in his own half. Long ball down the centre of the pitch, gives it straight to Blaney. Payton, and then knocked forward by Stravkowski. Chasing after it is Beireth, but Tavernier gets there first, rolls it back to his goalkeeper, shuffles on to his left side. Yilmaz on the touchline, he goes long instead, left-footed. Again, it hangs in the wind. It's off the head of O'Donnell. Sterling gets a touch onto it, now it goes for a Motherwell throw-in. It's actually been a pretty positive start to the second half by the home team.
They're playing further up the pitch. They're playing closer to their centre forward as opposed to playing closer to their own goal. They're winning more second balls in midfield. They're playing the ball forward, and there's numbers around Mika Beireth. So yes, it's a positive start, but can you produce something? Can you make something happen for yourselves?
And get Gent and Spencer involved in the wing areas, then you might get some joy there. There's only 5 teams in Europe's top flights on longer winless runs than Motherwell right now. It's the likes of Granada in Spain, and Almeria as well in that country. Teams at the bottom of the Ukrainian, Serbian top flights, and the Austrian one as well. That's it, it's a dreadful run they're on. One of Europe's worst. That comes back to Jack Butland in the Rangers box. He bowls it to the right for Goldson.
And Rangers will have expected Motherwell to come out second half, having had some words from their manager. And they will have expected the aggression to come their way. For them, it's just a case of riding them out.
Well, Motherwell claiming they should have had a free kick for a foul in Beireth. And it's gone out for a throw-in only, says the ref. And there's been a few of those which the Motherwell fans, I think, see these borderline challenges when it goes against them. They're not being given as free kicks, whereas they are for the visitors. Gent gets a throw in almost level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box. Infield to Spittle, back to Blaney, lofts it high into the air. Tavernier was an awkward one, just lost sight of it, and it breaks Beanet's way. Flip ball's really good, and the header from Spencer's wide. That was the chance. 6 yards out, diving header, he puts it past the reverse side of the goal frame, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 2.
And that's probably the area where they thought they might have got some success. Brodie Spencer's aggressive, he wants to go and head the ball. Yilmaz probably not as aggressive, so it was perfect, delightful cross to the back post, but he just can't direct it on target. But it comes from James Tavernier being a little bit sloppy with his first touch and encouraging the press, so Rangers have to be careful. But for Motherwell, best chance so far.
Yeah, they've got to take that kind of opportunity when it comes along, Graham, if they're going to make a game of this.
Yep, it's a couple of times already in this second half that they've been caught in this right hand side, and it's a fantastic opportunity. He'd fancy his chances against Yilmaz there, and he has to hit the target. But it's been a good start from Motherwell in this second half. They're playing in Rangers half, and they're playing in areas that they can get chances from.
I was talking about Ross McCausland with Stephen in the first half. Brodie Spencer, high hopes for him. He's just 19 on loan from Huddersfield.
Yeah, and he's already a full international with Northern Ireland. I think he made his debut when he was 17 or 18, Liam. So it's great to see them out playing, and I'm going to be selfish and say that we need as many young Northern Irish players playing first team football as we can, particularly Ross McCausland. We need inventive, creative players, and he certainly is that. But yeah, Brodie Spencer's been excellent since he arrived.
Long ball from McGinn up towards halfway. The header from Goldson right on the halfway line. Blaney gets his head onto it, but only to the benefit of Sima, who nods it towards goal. Dessers can't get there. Kelly does, and bowls it out to Stephen O'Donnell on that right hand side. The former Scotland international forward to Spittle, just leaving it back the way to Zdravkovsky. Back out to O'Donnell via Spittle, forward to Slattery. First time back into the feet of Spittle. Switches the play out to Gent on this near side. Been an excellent start the second half by Motherwell. Gent's ball into the box, cut out by Goldson. There was nobody in the 18-yard line in Claret and Amber to get onto it. And Rangers were able to ease it clear with Tavernier, and then to Cantwell, who plays it straight to Zdravkovsky. Then out to this near side it comes. Motherwell give it away. They've got it back in double quick time though. There's a chance for Slattery to run at the Rangers box. Changes direction and then runs into Goldson, who makes the challenge. And Rangers have it back. That was a waste, and that'll be a foul and a yellow card for Brodie Spencer. He's a tug of the shirt of Sima. And it's a yellow card for the young Northern Irishman from Belfast.
Do you know what? I think he tried to pull his jersey and he actually stood on his Achilles or the back of his foot. I don't think it was intentional to stand on his foot. I think he was just trying to stop the attack. Clearly it's a yellow card, but hopefully Sima is okay, because I don't think there was any intention from Brodie Spencer to trot on him. I think he tried to pull him.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's just caught him by acting, but it's better from Motherwell. I spoke in the first half, Stephen O'Donnell getting it from the goalkeeper and playing better forward passes there. He's played two into Spittle there, and he's knocked the ball off, and Motherwell have worked it into from one side to another into another area, and it's a great cross into the box, and they're unlucky it doesn't fall to them. So it's been better for the first 5-10 minutes here for Motherwell.
But you just think when you have that head of steam, where you do have that little bit of momentum, you've got to try and make it count, because the longer it goes in and the more Stewart will have to overcommit. We spoke about it at half time. It plays in the Rangers' hands, so they need to get the goal just to try and give them that little bit of belief.
Rangers looking to string a 6th win in a row together this afternoon. That would be their best winning run since the 9 they put together right at the start of the calendar year. Things clicking at the right time. If you can do well in the winter months, it sets you up brilliantly for the spring, and that's exactly what Rangers are doing just now. On the other end of the table, if you've had a winter of discontent, you can be chasing your tail. You get into the business end of the campaign. As Balogun takes the free kick, eventually play gets back underway. Sima's okay to continue. As Goldson finds Tavernier in the near side, back to Connor Goldson. Long ball forward is cut out, but it breaks to Cantwell, driving towards the edge of the box, looking for Sima, just a little bit too much on the pass. And he goes out to the left-hand side touchline. Sima regains possession though, and now it's with Yilmaz. Ball cut back is cut out by O'Donnell, and Spencer can launch it clear up towards Biret, who does well this time, controlling on the chest and knocking it back to Spittle. That's much better from Mika Biret. It's out to this near side, but Gent can't keep it in play. And it's out for a throw into Rangers down on this near side. A lot more for Stuart Kettlewell to be pleased with in the opening 10 minutes of the second half here. However, They haven't been able to make any inroads on the scoreline, which still reads 2-0 Rangers.
But that's been the recurrent theme. If you look back at the results, Liam, they've been behind in games and they've had to overcommit, almost like the shackles have come off and they went chasing the game when they're behind. The challenge for them is, can you do it when the game's level and not make individual errors, which unfortunately has cost them so many times.
It's with Cantwell in the midfield, turning it out to Tavernier. He's got McCausland on his bike ahead of him. That's where the pass is aimed. McCausland gives chase. Blaney's there, gets ahead of the Rangers winger, knocks it off him and out for a Motherwell throw-in. Just down on this near side. The one part of the pitch we can't see from right back here at the back of the main stand. If you know the main stand here at Fir Park, you'll know what I'm talking about. It'll be a throw-in to the home team, level with their own 18-yard line. It's taken by Blaney. Headed away by Dowell. And back towards the Motherwell box. Away it goes from Blaney, long ball. Balogun controls it well. Difficult conditions, and then sells beat at the dummy. Faces forward and passes it off Spittle and out for a throw into Rangers on that far side.
Yeah, Rangers just aren't playing quick enough at the minute. The defenders are getting caught in the ball. We've seen it 2 or 3 times in the second half there, but there's a small opportunity there for Cantwell just to get the pass right into Sima. It was a little bit too heavy, and if he gets that right, then Rangers would be in for the third goal.
There's an altercation over on the far side. Bireth is out there, Sima as well. It's going to be a Rangers ball though. Free kick. Just taken quickly by Sterling, and that just infuriates the Motherwell supporters. I'm not sure they were going to be sending David Dickinson a Christmas card. In any case, they certainly won't be after this today. They feel aggrieved at many of the decisions being made by the ref. Dowell goes long with the left foot. Down the left-hand side, he's found Sima, controls it really well. Up against O'Donnell, heavy touch though, and then the foul on Spencer. Free kick Motherwell. And he's not at his best day at the office, Abdallah Sima, so far. The guys were saying that during the half-time interval. He's been, along with Jack Butland, he's been the best signing, hasn't he? Those two, they have been the ones who have shone the brightest of those who arrived in the summer.
He's just been a little bit loose with his touch, and he hasn't really had a lot of an involvement in the game, but he has that goal-scoring instinct that even when he has games like that, Liam, he can pop up with a goal, so Motherwell will have to keep an eye on him.
Stravkovsky in the midfield, rolling it back the way to McGinn on the halfway line. Bireth goes in behind Balogun, but the pass can't find him. It sails behind for the goal kick. Getting closer to the hour mark here at Fir Park. We're in 58 and still Rangers leading, thanks to Dowell's goal in 4 and Cantwell's in 16. Here on Sportsound. Loads to come over the course of the festive period with Boxing Day's game, Dens, Dundee Celtic. Assuming they've dried out the pitch. Well, many felt the pitch was dry enough to kick that game off against Aberdeen yesterday, including the home team. And Sima comes down the left-hand side of the Motherwell box. This time it's well defended, a combination of Spencer and O'Donnell. And then Rangers play on it. Motherwell felt they should have had a free kick as Sima runs it behind the byline, and that will be a goal kick to Motherwell.
Well, I'm thinking now it's almost an hour, and as much as Motherwell have improved in the second half, they haven't made any inroads. So the responsibility then goes on to the manager to think, what can I do? How can I mix things up personnel-wise or shape of the team? Something has to change to try and give them an opportunity. For me, it would be a second striker. If you're going to go long and you're going to go direct, possibly a second striker.
Well, there's 3 there, isn't there? There are Obika, Bear and Shaw. Shaw hasn't hit the heights yet here. I think it's fair to say. We know what Obika can do, and Theo Bear comes up with something every now and again. Nobody on the bench there particularly prolific, but it does give them another option, as Stephen was saying. Well, she'll keep an eye on that. Motherwell giving it away in the attacking thirds. Tavernier booting it clear for Rangers. O'Donnell controlling it right of the centre circle in the far side. Low ball forward to Slattery. Back to O'Donnell. Just inside the Rangers half. Forward to Spittle. First time down the right channel. Bireth has it. Gents in the middle. Pulls it back to Slattery. Lays it back to Spencer, and he gets his pass wrong. He's Spittle waiting for it just inside the box to his left. He couldn't find him. And that allows Rangers an easy clearance to Ridvan Yilmaz. Again, the wind catches it, and that allows Motherwell to pinch it back. Payton to Stravkovsky. Out it comes to O'Donnell. Back to the North Macedonian. Steps away from McCausland. Forward to Payton. It's poor from O'Donnell. He lazy touch, and then he's going to be booked as well because he's absolutely wiped Sima out as he tried to redeem himself, and that will be a free kick to Rangers and another injury stoppage for Abdallah Sima. Motherwell 0, Rangers 2.
Yeah, it's a poor challenge. I mean, I think the ball gets caught in the wind and he can't sort his feet out and he takes a poor touch, and Sima just nicks it, and it's a definite yellow card. I think he's caught him a little bit late.
I mean, that last attack where Motherwell were moving the ball well, it was Brodie Spencer, poor final pass. You know, when you come up against top opposition and you want to get a goal, everything has to be precise. You've got to be on the money when you get into the opposition's 18-yard box. One loose pass completely kills it. So another thing that's probably hindered Motherwell throughout the season.
Just 2 home wins for Motherwell. They came back in August. Long ball forward towards Dessers, cut out by McGinn. McGinn flicking it to his right. Well done by Paul McGinn, and he's found Payton, who finds Spencer out on that right-hand side. They are going to make a change just shortly. Ollie Shaw is the man who Stuart Kettlewell's going to turn to. The Motherwell ball, O'Donnell clipping it forward and comes straight through to Tavernier, who finds Dowell. 1-2 with McCausland. Back to McCausland it comes, and he's got a bit of space in the central area. Driving forward, rolling it to right for Cantwell. It's just in behind him though. Cantwell has it. Moves just into the Motherwell box. Back to Tavernier. Controls with the undersole and passes it to his right for Cantwell. Infield to Dowell. Pushing it forward to Tavernier, who passes it forward looking for... I'm not sure who he was looking for. It wasn't Dessers, he was the closest Rangers player to it, and it's clear by Blaney out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side, and the change is going to be made here by Motherwell and Stephen Craigan. It's Harry Payton to come off and to be replaced by Ollie Shaw. So within a couple of minutes of you saying they needed a second striker on, that's exactly what Stuart Kettlewell's come up with.
I have to say Ollie Shaw wasn't the one I was thinking about. Again, that's Stuart's decision to do it, because Ollie Shaw hasn't really been impressive since he came. He hasn't got enough goals. But yeah, I think a second striker is what they need.
Change for Rangers as well. Sima coming off, he's taking a couple of knocks. He hasn't had the best game anyway, so he's going to be replaced by Rabi Matondo. And Stephen talking about Ollie Shaw's goal scoring record. Well, he hasn't scored for Motherwell yet, so it'll be a good fixture for him to do that, to try and get Motherwell back into this. But the longer it goes with them not scoring when they have had their best period in the game, I just feel it's slipping away from them as Matondo replaces Sima. Graham Dorrans.
Yep, as you mentioned, it's not been Sima's most effective game, so Matondo comes on and he's got pace to burn, so Rangers will be looking to get him on the ball, get higher up the pitch, get him into areas that he can go and get this third goal.
Throwing Rangers on the right level with the Motherwell penalty spot to be taken by Tavernier. Bowls it to the right-hand side of the box for Dowell. Couldn't quite get it back to Tavernier, but it's a loose bouncing ball. Still in the attacking third, and Rangers have it with Sterling does well. Turns it out to McCausland on the right-hand side. Rolls it along the 18 for Tavernier. Tries to return it with a give and go to McCausland, but it's straight to Blaney, who clears. And this is Rangers' longest period, I think, in the attacking third since the interval. So it comes to Cantwell. And then it is Dujon Sterling. He's done well since coming into the side, and he's driving forward. That's going behind for a corner if they can't get it clear, and Motherwell make an absolute hash of it. And it breaks Blaney's way, and he's able to dump it up into the sky, and eventually the referee sounds the whistle for a Motherwell free kick. And Todd Cantwell taking an eternity to give the ball back, and he's being spoken to by David Dickinson. He's yellow carded for that. It's so cheap. I think it's just going to be a word of warning though for Cantwell.
It's petulance, isn't it? You know, he's trying to be smart and clever. I think he's the one to give away the free kick. He must have pushed someone when the ball was in the air, then he retains the ball, doesn't give it back. And no wonder referees get frustrated.
Yeah, it's handbag stuff, but Todd Cantwell picks up too many yellow cards or things like that, and it's going to end up costing him.
Free kick Motherwell to be taken then by Kelly. To the right for McGinn. McGinn has a look up at the pitch, and brilliant skill to shuffle away from Dessers, who was fully expecting the long ball. It does come forward now. Shaw flicks on looking for Beard, but he can't find him. Stravkowski heads it out to the right-hand side. Sterling eventually gets it under control to Tavernier on the right, up towards halfway. Rangers with a 2-0 lead as McCausland has his jersey pulled back, talking of petulance. Professional foul and another yellow card, this time for Shane Blaney. And it's going to be a free kick to Rangers on this right-hand side, almost level with the edge of the D of the Motherwell box.
It's great from McCausland there. The ball comes into him and he sees that he feels the defender on his shoulder, and he just lets the ball run through him, and I think he tries to get his shirt off him, so it's a definite yellow card and another opportunity for Rangers to put it in the box here.
He recognises the weight of the pass as well, and he knows where the defender is trying to dive in. You know, for someone so young to have that game management, that game recognition, terrific from McCausland.
Tavernier and Dowell over the free kick, hanging over on this right-hand side touchline for Rangers. Big long line of players along the 18. As Tavernier takes right-footed into the corridor, and it comes off Spittle's left boot and behind for a Rangers corner, right in front of their thousands of supporters in behind Liam Kelly's goal.
I think there's a feeling Rangers have probably wrestled the game back into their favour. They've kind of taken away the sting that Motherwell had at the start of the second half, and from here on in, even if they don't get a third goal, it's about making sure they manage what they have and don't put themselves under any unnecessary pressure.
Tavernier will take on this right-hand side, and it comes towards the 6-yard line. It's headed away well by Blaney, and Sterling will let it go out for the throw-in over on that left-hand side. Rangers have a man down inside the box. It's Balogun, who is having a little rub at his ankle there. A little stoppage in play for Leon Balogun. Looks as though the physios aren't going to have to come on, though. It will be a Rangers ball over on the far side. Balogun's okay to limp back towards his defensive post. Throw in from Yilmaz to Sterling down the line, and it's going to go behind for the goal kick to Rangers. Graham, how difficult is it when you know you've got a game against Celtic and you play for Rangers? How difficult is it when you're 2-0 up at half-time, cruising in this match? You've got a home game with Ross County to come during the week. How difficult is it to get that Celtic game out of your head?
So that game will take care of itself. You know, when you're at a club like Rangers, you know you have to win every game. The manager's installed that at the minute. He's got the players knowing that they're going into every game, winning the game, ticking them off, moving on to the next game. And I think Stephen just mentioned it there. Rangers are managing game much better now than they were earlier on in the season. You can see that in the second half. They've not come out the second half and played particularly well. They've not had really many chances, but they're managing the game.
Motherwell in possession. Can they find a route back into this? Spencer waited way too long, and is it pinched off him by Matondo, and now it's Yilmaz. He needs to be smarter than that. He must have known there was a Rangers player will be at some point making a challenge, and Rangers have it back with Tavernier down the right. Now he's found Cantwell. Rangers going to make Brodie Spencer suffer some more here. Tavernier looking for McCausland, right hand side of the box. Lovely skill, turns away with a opportunity to get some space for himself, runs into trouble in the box, breaks out to Tavernier, who crosses in, comes off McGinn. There's some shouts from the Rangers supporters for a penalty. It's a long ball, comes bouncing off Beared and out for a throw into Rangers on this near side. Yeah, that wind, the metaphorical wind that Motherwell had in their sails there at the start of the second half is completely dissipated.
It has, and it's because Rangers have been better. You know, they haven't given Motherwell any chances. They've been tidier in possession. They haven't been as sloppy as what they were in the opening spell, and they've been really efficient. I mean, I said that about Philippe Clement since he came in. Rangers are a much more efficient team, and that's what they're doing.
Cosland dinking it forward into the Motherwell box, but it's an easy take this time for Kelly. And he bowls it with too much on it, and it goes straight out for a Rangers throw-in just inside their own half over on that far side. Stuart Kettlewell down there, arms folded. There's time, there's hope for Motherwell, but Jack Butland hasn't had much to do in the Rangers goal. And a similar story in his last few games actually for the Rangers keeper. He's come in and he's taken the gloves from Alan McGregor, and he's replaced a Rangers legend in that regard, and he's made it look very easy. Long ball from Kelly, Spencer's header straight through to Butland, and it remains Motherwell 0, Rangers 2 here at Fir Park. We've got 21 minutes of the 90 still to play.
And we're still in that position of Motherwell have to make something happen. Rangers don't look as if they're going to leak any soft goals, so Motherwell are going to have to produce something out of the ordinary, something different than what they've done so far.
McCausland infield to Cantwell, looks up at the goal, decides to slip it to the left of the box for Matondo, takes a touch, rifles for goal, blocked by O'Donnell. It's a low effort, it pings back to Cantwell, who goes back into his own half for Balogun. Now Goldson out to this near side for Tavernier. Forward it comes towards McCausland, bounces back off McCausland and out for a Motherwell throw-in on this near side. Next up for Well is a trip to Aberdeen. That will feature as part of our coverage on Wednesday evening. Commentary of the Edinburgh Derby, Hibs against Hearts, 8 o'clock kick-off. An online option for Rangers Ross County as well. And of course, full coverage of the other games taking place, full updates. Another big midweek set of fixtures: Dundee Celtic Boxing Day, Dundee United Partick Thistle on the telly on Friday night. Celtic Rangers is the starter on Saturday. McCausland can't quite get it under control, breaks to Blaney, now Spittle. Out to the right-hand side for Spencer. Spencer looking for Beirett with a long ball forward, cut out by Balogun, who's been fouled. Says David Dickinson. The Motherwell manager didn't like that decision. Free kick Rangers at the edge of their own box. They're 2-0 up and cruising as it stands.
Yeah, I think it's a foul. I mean, it's a decent pass into behind Leon Balogun, but he defends it well, he uses his pace, and it's a nudge in the back, and it's a foul, but nothing more than a foul.
Double change, Graham, for Rangers here. Sam Lammers and Scott Wright getting an opportunity to get some action. Todd Cantwell is coming off, and Ross McCausland's the other one.
Yeah, I'm delighted to see Scott Wright being back fit as well, and he was a player that under the previous manager in the transfer window, it looked to be heading out the door, but the new manager's come in, he's given him a new lease of life, and I like Scott Wright. You know, I mean, Rangers have got lack of wingers at the minute, and he came in and he's done very well, so another opportunity for him to go out today and prove himself.
I think he was actually in Turkey, wasn't he, in the summer? It looked as though he was heading out that way.
I think Clement has rotated the squad well. You know, he's tried to give players little rests here and there and take them off and take different ones off so they're fresh all the time. He recognises in a really busy schedule, and all players can't play 90 minutes every single week, so I like how he's managed the group and how he's managed players individually.
We'll be looking at making a couple of changes in the window, which opens in just over a week's time. A week tomorrow, in fact. Butland's long ball sails out for a throw into Motherwell over on the far side. There's still enough time in this game. If Motherwell were to score, they could make a game of it in the closing stages. But it's 18 minutes, less than that now, of the 90 that remain. Rangers with his 2-goal cushion. Goals in 4 and 6. And Dowell and Cantwell. Zdravkovsky flips it forward, it's flicked on by Spencer. Down the right goes Slattery, Balogun comes out to meet him. And it's another good bit of defending by Leon Balogun. Sterling was caught as he releases the ball, switch out to Tavernier. He's not going to get there, it's out for a Motherwell throw-in. Rangers claiming that Sterling had been fouled just in the build-up to that. Clip ball, Motherwell to the edge of the Rangers box, cleared by Tavernier. Breaks to Blaney, finds Spencer. Spencer back to O'Donnell on the right. Looks up, right foot cross into the box. Diving header away by Goldson. Picked up by Spencer. Flick ball cut out by Yilmaz. Gets it back though and passes it back to O'Donnell. Back out to Spencer on the right-hand side touchline. Infield for Slattery, lovely little back heel. Spencer's onto it. Down he goes! Down he goes! No penalty, says David Dickinson. Spencer hit the deck. And for now, Rangers get away with it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how it looks in VAR. We don't have a second look at it. Did Brodie Spencer put his foot in front of the defender to try and initiate contact? I don't know, but if there's nothing there, he can put his leg where he wants. If the defender then bundles into the back of it, it's a foul. But I don't know, we can't say it, so we're kind of guessing. No, the VAR,
penalty.
Yeah, the VAR is back to the referee, which is fine.
Yeah, my first viewing was he's tried to buy it. I mean, he's got his cell ahead of Yilmaz there, and he stopped and waited for contact. So I don't think it was a penalty, but it'd be interesting if we could see it again. But my initial thought was no penalty.
Beirett giving chase down the right-hand side. Again, Balogun comes to meet him. Good plays, and the legs flipped away from him by Balogun. That's a free kick to Motherwell. Level with the Rangers penalty spot. Just wondered if that decision might galvanise Motherwell for a big push here to try and get back into this. It's 2 years next month since Rangers conceded a Premiership penalty. That one was against Aberdeen, converted by Lewis Ferguson, who became the top scoring Scot in Serie A with that winner for Bologna yesterday against Atalanta. Skippering the team just now as well. Free kick Motherwell. Over on the right. Into the box it comes, the header down from Spencer. Butland comes to get there, gets the slightest touch. Melly in the 6-yard area. Rangers get it half away. Breaks to Spencer, takes a touch on the right foot, and leaning back, he shoots wide. And it stays. Motherwell 0, Rangers 2. And David Dickinson's been surrounded by a couple of Motherwell players.
I think that's been the most uncomfortable moment Rangers have had so far in the game. I think Mickey Bereth was asking for a handball or a pull. He was incessant that something happened when the ball came into the box for him, but it's been cleared. The referee has just asked for a pause. I'm not too sure.
The guys get a chance to have a look at a replay of the potential penalty for Motherwell as Spencer made his way into the box. And when you look at it, it looks as though David Dickinson has made the correct decision, because Spencer's flicked out the right leg, hoping Yilmaz is going to catch it, I think. You've both dismissed that appeal there. Yep.
I think I'd said that's what initially was the picture in your mind, Liam, when you see it live, was that Spencer was in behind and he tried to make contact with Yilmaz. Yilmaz actually stood off and allowed his leg to come across and didn't make any contact. So, well done, the referee.
Sure, there was another check going on there for just that previous incident inside the Rangers box. It's only getting back underway now. This is the goal kick from the Spencer shot, which went well wide. But we're in the final 14 minutes now. Rangers maintaining their 2-0 advantage. Long ball down the throat of the pitch. Dessers trying to control. Bounces off a Motherwell defender, then back off one of the visiting players and behind for a goal kick. I mean, there weren't too many positives of anything for Stuart Kettlewell in the first half. Second half's been a whole heap better.
It has been, but that's been the story of probably the last 7 or 8 games, where they've been poor in the first half. They give themselves a mountain to climb. And then Stuart seems to be hanging on because they get a late equaliser, they get a late goal, and suddenly, right, the players are still with the manager, still things are going well, but then they produce what they produced in the opening 15 minutes the following game, and it's, they're continually cutting their own throats and giving themselves too much to do.
17 second half goals compared to 3 in the first half in the league this season. More than half of their league goals have come after the 75-minute mark. 12 of the 20 at this sort of stage in games. Balogun prevents the corner. Does he know? Flags up. No, it's gone behind for a goal kick off the Motherwell player. First, Balogun's touch. It looked as though it put it behind for the corner, but the decision goes Motherwell's way.
I think it's the offside.
It's offside, it might have been, yeah.
And it's where he makes contact with the ball, where the free kick has to be taken from.
Yeah, it is offside.
It's such a silly rule. I don't know, when he's offside, the linesman just put his flag up. He risks the rule, the chance of someone getting injured, or when they play it onside.
Yeah.
Why does just put his flag up?
It's the VAR age, though, isn't it? They've got to let these attacks come to their conclusion. As Tavernier picks up a throw-in on this near side. I think in the VAR era, there's a slightly different take on it. You're right, Graham, because before VAR, that was still happening. It was a ridiculous rule at that point. You can see now with the video assistant, they've got to let attacks come to the end in case someone scores or there's a foul in the box, that sort of thing. But it is playing on the edge, isn't it? As Rangers pick up a free kick just inside Motherwell territory. And they're just slowing the game. The Rangers would be quite happy, more than happy, with a 2-0 win here.
But you're just looking at Rangers and thinking, no one has been outstanding today. No one has stood out as the key player who's made the difference. And that's what I'm saying earlier. Philippe Clement has made them a better team all round. They haven't had to have brilliant individual performances. They've had moments of class where they've got a goal or they've broke something up, not just today, but over the piece.
Yeah, and that's what I was alluding to at the start of the game. That I don't think Rangers have been exceptional in a lot of games, but you're right, he's made them a better team, and that's why they're getting the results.
A couple of times his unbeaten records come under pressure, most notably against Hearts at Ibrox. Shanklin scored the opener early and they got back into it with the penalty before Danilo won it, and then that game at Pittodrie where they salvaged a draw in a game they looked to be losing, from behind to the Miovski goal. Tavernier's late penalty salvation. And he's unbeaten. It looks as though he's going to be unbeaten in 16. And that's, as I said earlier, the best since McLeish. Butland picks up inside the 6-yard box and goes long with the right foot. Sorry, Kelly, long with the right foot, and it's picked up by Bereth on the right. Out to Spencer, down the line for Mika Bereth, looking for Spencer again, but Matondo gets there first, runs into trouble. Spittle almost managed to pilfer it back for Motherwell. He might well have been in the box had it not been blocked just before he got there. Eventually it's out for a Rangers throw-in over on the far side. The 16 unbeaten, Beale managed 14, Van Bronckhorst 13, Gerrard 12, Kashinya 5, Warburton 11, and that was in the second tier. McCoist 1, Walter Smith 4 in his second spell, Le Guen 7, and McLeish 17. He's just about there. And if he can match that against Ross County during the week, assuming Motherwell don't have the most stunning resurrection of the Premiership season in the final 10 minutes here. They do have a free kick though, midway inside Rangers territory on this near side. But
I think within those games, Liam, there's been so many important ones. Winning the semi-final, winning against Betis, winning a trophy. So that's why that run becomes even more crucial and important.
Blair Spittle will take the free kick, right-footed, bends it in towards the 6-yard area, beats everyone and goes behind for a goal kick, and it will remain Motherwell 0, Rangers 2. It doesn't look like there's a way back for the Steelmen. In fairness, it's something that we've suspected since the 16th minute when the second Rangers goal hit the back of the net. It's extremely difficult when you consider the gap between Celtic and Rangers and the rest right now. Very difficult to compete. Lammers wins the header, but he's straight to Tarkowski. Tavernier picks up the loose ball now. Lammers, and then out of play. He goes for a throw-in on this near side to Rangers, just inside their own half. And James Tavernier's over it. Pulls it back to Goldson. Goldson side football into the centre circle for Yilmaz. Good footwork from Yilmaz. He's away from 2, then 3, and pops it through for Dessers, who can seal it, and does! Flag's gone up though. Dessers had the jersey over his face in celebration, but his joy was short-lived. Finished it well, actually, with the offside flag up.
First viewing, sorry, I think that's the correct decision. That's what I thought. Yilmaz does great. He comes inside and finds a great pass into Dessers, and it's a good finish, but my first initial thought was that he just went too early and just strayed offside.
It's brilliant play, wasn't it? You know, Ridvan stepping into the game, committing players, driving away from players. That just creates space. It means defenders have to retreat or they have to come towards the ball, and then he picked the right pass.
Just holding the game just now while the checks go on. There will be a Motherwell free kick, assuming the correct decision was made by David Dickinson. The closing stages of the game here. In about 7.5 minutes, no goal is confirmed. And Liam Kelly with a free kick, right-footed down the right-hand side. Spencer, first-time ball in field. It's cut out by Balogun. He was caught there by Slattery, who's ended up hurting himself in the process. As Balogun hoofs the ball over the east stand on that far side. It will be a throw into Motherwell. But they've got a man down. It was Callum Slattery, whose challenge it was, but he's ended up giving himself an injury. And he's such a combative player. Slattery, he was on the books at Chelsea as a youngster, then went to Southampton. He made a few appearances for the first team there, played with Stuart Armstrong, Fraser Forster, Mohamed El Younousi, all familiar names to Scottish football. And he's okay to continue. The throw-in's bowled forward by O'Donnell. Rangers have it back with Lammers. He's given it straight to Stravkowski, who finds Spittle. Shuffles away from Dowell. He goes for a spectacular effort, high over the bar, into the Cooper stand, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 2, as we tick towards 84 minutes. I think Theo Bair's being readied, Stephen.
Yeah, I mean, he's made impact in games coming on late, but what's he got, 5 or 6 minutes to try and get himself a hat-trick?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's got 3 goals in Scottish football in 18 months. I'd be very surprised if he gets a hat-trick in 6 minutes, but that's the one change I would have made a little bit earlier, Liam, just because he's got a little bit more aggression than what Ollie Shaw has. He's a wee bit quicker than him. I agree he doesn't get goals, but Ollie Shaw doesn't get goals, Conor Wilkinson doesn't get goals, Theo Bair doesn't get goals. You're trying to pick the best of a bunch who aren't regular scorers.
Motherwell's biggest issue is that they have the leakiest defence in the Premiership. Conceded goals 30 and 31 this afternoon, which is a few more than the likes of Aberdeen. Livingston conceded a couple yesterday, but they're We've still not conceded as many as Bear comes on for Slattery. Did take that knock just a moment ago. And it's the big former St Johnstone player who come on. Rangers are going to make a double change themselves. And the two centre backs I think are going to be changed here. Suter and King are going to come on. Just noticed Connor Goldson's been receiving a bit of treatment. Didn't quite see what went on there.
Groin. He just sat down. I don't know, he's got an issue with his groin, tightness in his groin.
Yeah, I think as you said there, he just sat down and he was feeling his groin, so this will be a bit of a concern with the games coming up for Rangers, but Clement's taking no chances, and I think, as you said, it looks like he's going to change his two centre-backs here for the last 5 minutes.
King and Suter waiting. And Connor Goldson will come off.
I'd be surprised if he takes his two centre-halves off. Could he take Tavernier, for example, off and play King at right back, or play King in midfield?
And here comes the other change.
Yeah, it's Dowell. Yeah, King in the midfield. Yeah. Makes sense.
Something they did on Wednesday, actually, against St Johnstone. Suter comes on. And King for Dowell, who got the scoring started. Graham, he scored Rangers first today, and I think we were talking about him in the first half. I mean, he's someone, if they can get him fully fit, get him a run of games, he could be an extremely useful player. He had loads of caps for the England under-21 side. He played with Chilwell, Calvert-Lewin, Alexander-Arnold, and whisper it, Angus Gunn. There's obviously plenty about him.
Yep, he's certainly got quality. I mean, I watched him previously when he was at Norwich before, and he's technically good. As you see today, he can get a goal, he can get forward. So delighted for him that he's come in today and he's took his opportunity in a game that there's not been too much in the game, but as I said, he's took his opportunity early in the first half, and he'll be pleased with his afternoon.
Closing few minutes at Fir Park of the 90. Yilmaz with a throw-in down the far side, headed forward by Stravkovski. There's an early ball there towards Bear's cutout. Bear had made a run towards John Suter's area. Rangers have it back with Tavernier on this near side. Right, it comes to King, who passes it straight out for a throw-in on this near side to Motherwell.
You don't have noticed that every time a sub comes off, the manager goes and greets them, you know, and has a quiet word in their ear, pats them in the back. You can see he's just trying to unite everyone, try and keep everyone involved, and just give a little bit of positivity.
Suter's ball into the centre circle, too high for Matondo, headed away by Spencer. Blaney with a head onto it. One in the air by Balogun. A flick on from Sterling. There's going to be a yellow card for Dujon Sterling here. And he started protesting, but he's taking his suit by the looks of things. And it's going to be a free kick to Motherwell for the challenge by Sterling on Spittle. And Motherwell have a free kick left of the centre circle as we move towards the final couple of minutes of the 90. We'll look back at yesterday's games in the final hour or so of the programme. Sports Sound with you till 3. The highlights this evening on Sports Scene, followed by the busy festive fixtures over the next week. The cross comes in from Gent, who's barely touched the ball in the second half since his early cross into the box. He's on it again, coming down the left-hand side. This ball in, it's poor this time, easily cut out. Tavernier wallops it forward up towards the halfway line. Dessers underneath it, can't get anything onto it though. O'Donnell with the challenge to win it back. Scott Wright prods it forward, looking for Matondo, gets away from Stravkovski, driving into the box, right hand side of it. 2 in blue and white in the middle, 3 now. It's Matondo right in the 18-yard line, screaming for it. He elects to try and play it across, too late, it's blocked at the near post, and Motherwell clear, and it stays 2-0 to Rangers. Here's Matondo picking up on the near side. He goes down, no free kicks. Stravkovski picks up. This is one thing about Matondo's game, Graham, is his decision-making in the final third.
Yeah, he's very raw. I mean, he's quick, but he gets into areas and his quality has to be...
There's a cross in from Motherwell from the right, aimed for Bireth. Rangers get it half away, and is that a foul by Wright? The referee doesn't think so. He's best placed inside the stadium to make the decision. In comes the cross ball, flicked away by Suter. Yilmaz with a header away as well. Wright trying to get onto it. Paul McGinn has it back though, he's done well. Into the penalty area, Spencer fires it across, straight into Jack Butland's clutch though at the near post, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 2 in the 90th minute.
Yeah, just as I was saying, Matondo gets into a good area. He's through the right hand side, but his decision making then lets him down. He gets himself into very good areas a lot of the times, but he's very raw and he's still young. He just has to learn, and he's got real pace and he's got ability, but he's still learning to make the right decisions when he gets into those areas.
I think the pass was on to feed it into Sam Lammers, wasn't it? Because he's so much pace, he's in behind everyone else. So just roll the ball into an area and just allow your attacking players to go and put it into the back of the net. Because he takes an extra touch, that opportunity goes.
Stoppage time is upon us at Fir Park, and there will be 6 minutes added. And that's how to play for a throw-in on the far side. A little pocket of Motherwell fans roaring that they are the most eternally optimistic of them. 2-0 down, moving into stoppage time at the end of the game. And it's going to be a throw-in to Rangers over on the far side, which Yilmaz is going to take eventually. I'm not sure if he's found something on the pitch that has made its way on to there from the stands as he throws it back off the surface. Yilmaz with the throw-in down the line, looking for Matondo. Motherwell clear their lines though. He's off the chest to Balogun and out for a Motherwell throw-in over there. They will feel that they've got a better chance of picking up points against Aberdeen, who have been stuttering since the start of the league season. We'll be at the Dons 1-4-2 here in the reverse fixture. An interesting match-up, that one. Part of our coverage on Wednesday evening. And then what a game it is here next week, Stephen, already, when Livingston come knocking just before the new year.
Well, you said that they've more of a chance of picking up points against the likes of Aberdeen, but Graham touched on it at the top of the programme. They had St Johnstone, they had St Mirren, they've had Dundee,
true, yeah.
Ross County, home and away, and they still haven't managed to get that win. So, yeah, next weekend's going to be an absolutely humongous game. I'm here to cover it, so I'm going to bring the tin hat.
And the neutrality, I would have thought, as well.
Well, totally. That's the most important thing about being a pundit. You can't show favouritism. Although you can get excited when your team scores. Although you can get excited when your team scores.
There are numerous examples of that. Although, to be fair, the Motherwell fans wish there were more examples of it. It's been toil and trouble for them pretty much since the first month of the campaign. Quite the opposite for Rangers, who are heading towards being back to within a couple of Celtic, and near Dessers, goal side of the defender. Others surround about him, and he slashes it horribly out for a throw-in. Is that gone out for the throw?
Still not actually.
It's not gone out, and the ball boy's put his foot in the ball. The ball hadn't gone out, and the ball boy put his foot in the ball.
I presume it's a drop ball in that kind of situation. The ball boy, I think the wind prevented it from going over the line before the ball boy touched it.
This will be an interesting one, because this ball has to be dropped to Rangers because he's the last player to touch the ball.
And I think Stephen O'Donnell's just been told that, and he's just thrown the ball away.
Stephen O'Donnell's been booked, and David Dickinson has actually managed that situation very well. He'd have been quite within his rights to give a second yellow card and send him off.
Yeah, Stephen O'Donnell and his Motherwell teammates struggling to keep clean sheets just now. They've managed that one last week as Rangers clear their lines, and it's with Balogun up the left-hand side looking for Matondo, who didn't run for it, and it's out for a goal kick. The seconds ticking away in this stoppage time is merely a formality on the journey to the final whistle for Philippe Clement and his players. He's down there, he speaks well, Philippe Clement. The results he's got there to back it up. He's got silverware to back it up as well. You see him, you don't see every manager do this, in fact most don't. When they're warming up beforehand, he stands there and watches the entire warm-up as Matondo comes forward. Wrong choice again, he was looking for Dessers, right, made a good run centrally. It's cut out and Theo Baer clears for Motherwell, and now Balogun out to Yilmaz. He turns it forward to Lammers, left of the centre circle, shifts it to right. One back well by Paul McGinn, who's actually played well since coming on at the interval for Mugabe. And eventually he passes it out to the right for Spencer. What does that tell you about the manager if he stands in the touchline and steely-faced? In fact, we're not going to be able to get to that because Lammers has knocked it through to Dessers. Left-hand side of the box, faced by the goalkeeper. Dessers goes round him and rolls it home. But again, the flag is up against Cyril Dessers. Twice he's had it in the net in the second half. He'd have loved that, particularly given what happened with his previous attempt at goal. And it will be A free kick to Motherwell, and it will stay 2-0 to Rangers after the check, unless Dessers was just on.
Again, my initial thoughts were that he just went too early. Again, it's a wonderful finish. He takes it round Liam Kelly and slots it on from a tight angle, but my initial thoughts that he just went a little bit too early.
Yeah,
again.
no, well, wait a minute, no, not quite yet. Looked as though it was game on there. We'll wait and see. By all accounts, it's pretty tight as we enter the final minute of stoppage time. Still, we're waiting on the VAR, Greg Aitken. Dessers would love this to be a goal. For him personally. And he's already had one ruled out. Might be about to happen again here. Liam Kelly waiting patiently to take the free kick. I mean, 2-0 or 3-0, it's not going to be a great post-mortem for Stuart Kettlewell again as they extend this run without winning to 15 games. No goal again. Dessers offside. As Kelly takes the free kick, there'll be time to add on to the 6 as well now. Tavernier tries to clear from the long free kick from Motherwell, bouncing about inside the box, Beedith with a header, and then cleared by Yilmaz, out for a Motherwell throw in level with the Rangers penalty spot on the far side. That's the 6 minutes of stoppage is gone. Motherwell 0, Rangers 2. And it's going to be a long throw into the box from Stephen O'Donnell. Motherwell score now, it will just be consolation. Into the box it comes. Lammers wins the header. And it comes off Bayer. Cleared by Lammers. Back out for another Motherwell throw in over there. Taken short to Spittle by O'Donnell. Then back to Spittle and back to O'Donnell again. Gets his cross in, and it's right onto the near post. Butland holds on to it. And it's gone over the line, actually. It's going to be a goal kick to Rangers. And 2-0 to Rangers. And that, Stephen Craigan, is just about it.
It is, and the heavy lifting was done in the opening 15-16 minutes. They got their goals, they've made the game comfortable for themselves, they've managed it really well as it's went on. There's been a couple of things in and around their box, but they look a really well organised, disciplined team who know what they have to do to see games over the line.
It's been a real professional performance. I mean, especially the second half, they started a little bit sloppy, but no real chances of note for any team.
Sorry, Graham, there's a little VAR check for a handball there, which is complete, and there's no penalty. As Rangers head forward with Sterling. We've got a man down now. The visitors are well into time, added on top of the 6 that were added. As Balogun clears his lines, goes off the head of Blaney. The flick on from Beereth. Yilmaz should be able to deal with that, and does. It's out for a throw into Motherwell, but there's no time to take it. It is all over. And it is a victory for Rangers at Fir Park. No surprise there. The long wait for a win for the Steelmen in the league over Rangers goes on and on and on. Boxing Day 02, the last time they managed it. It's now 57 times they've come up against Rangers in league games, and it's 42 defeats to go with the 15 drawn matches. They just can't beat them in the Premiership, and Philippe Clement is now extending that unbeaten run for him since taking over, and what a start it's been. 16 games for him that Rangers are unbeaten, 17 all told, if you include the win over St Mirren, which Stephen Davis was in charge of, and it's 2 defeats in 23, and they are barely conceding goals under the Belgian. They got 2 themselves today, 4 minutes in when Kieran Dowell lashed home, 16 when Todd Cantwell finished from the edge of the area into the bottom left corner. And a fantastic finish for both of them, and Motherwell just couldn't threaten Jack Butland's goal. They were better in the second half, as they have been for most games this season, but it's another game to add to the winless run, which, as I mentioned, is one of the worst in Europe just now. How long will it be before they can pick up 3 points? They've got Aberdeen during the week before that massive game against Livingston. Rangers of Ross County on Wednesday evening before they go to Celtic Park, and that is going to be massive. The gap at the top's 2. Rangers, though, have a game in hand. It finished here, having won one of the games in hand they had after yesterday's games. Motherwell 0, Rangers 2.
On digital.